Saw you in a field of ice and snow, holding out your hand for me to go. Wasn't scared to see you, always knew it in my bones that something here was bound to take me home. You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel in white. I'll be close if you come, I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you.
Hello and welcome to PCMT NA Group Stage Week 13. This will be the second game. We've got Clown9 versus Team Dyslexia. TL, of course. I'm Fuzzy the Cat, joined by the lovely Valencia. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm finally getting a chance to see TL in action. I had a chance to watch C9 last weekend, and well, that was quite the heater. So obviously the stakes aren't too crazy for this one for C9 because obviously they're guaranteed playoffs, just seeding. But TL for now, they still have control over their own destiny in their hands. Still have a chance to make playoffs, especially with a win here. I don't know if a win or if a loss would necessarily knock them out of contention or not, but you know. Let's try and win it out rather than have it not be in your favor. You feel me? So yeah, I mean, we've already got our map set here too. Sunset, Ascent Haven, so kind of a heater.
TL currently fighting against RRQ and SSG for that fourth spot in the Group Alpha with a third or with a win over C9 today. I believe TL would actually be able to clinch a higher spot in playoffs.
Yeah, because I think that would essentially knock out RRQ, I think is the idea, because TL are the one that pretty much just need to like kind of win it out, whereas like, you know, RRQ are pretty much fighting for every single win they can get from now, which I mean, they're literally doing that right now on the stream that started an hour ago. So but I mean, when it comes to TL, obviously it's like Fuzzy is saying, you know, your destiny is clearly in your hands right now. But you're also against C9. So I don't think it's going to be an easy battle, and I never saw this being any bit easy whatsoever for them. They're going to have to work for this one pretty damn hard if they want to, you know, secure playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, for C9, win today guarantees them the second seed in Group Alpha. They would need FSG to drop 2 games in order to get the first seed. With how that team is looking, may not be likely, but it is not impossible. The worst C9 can do is 4th place. They are guaranteed playoffs at this point. So really, they might be taking a bit more easy. Depends on how much they care about getting that first seed. But for TL, this game means a lot.
Yeah, like for me, like my impression with C9, especially when we talked with them after their last win, it didn't seem like they were necessarily, you know, wanting to like slow down, but it's more this was like, I don't think it's in their wheelhouse or their interest to really want to like, you know, slow it down. Like they've secured playoffs, want to go for more, and you know, like they could still pretty much play spoiler to everyone that's still trying to claw in for playoffs. So it's like, you know, it's not like the worst thing, you know, like they don't have to sandbag like Paper X. Don't have to have someone play every agent, you know.
Speaking of playing every agent, Case Bard's here hovering the harbor. I think that may be a bit of a bait, but we will find out. Clap's actually going to the Sage. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this makes some amount of sense because when we talked with Claps last time, pretty much if Claps isn't playing the Clove, they're playing Sage. So this is pretty much like a comfort pick. And I cannot recall for the life of me if this is the exact same composition they played last week as well in their match. I'm pretty sure it is. And it's still up to my chagrin that's like, damn, I would love a Case Sparse Neon one day. I really would. Am I biased? Yes.
K-Spar's Neon would go unbelievably hard. Anyways.
It would go hard, but I don't know if it'd go hard in the server or hard for him. Probably all at the same time. We love you, K-Spars.
I think it's interesting that both of these teams are leaning into the double Senti. Like, obviously, Sage, Cypher, both very strong on Sunset, but can't think of many other maps in this pool where that would be the desired comp. Obviously,
Yeah.
Omen,
Like,
very strong. Fade, very strong. In fact, it's nearly a full mirror. It's just Ender favoring that Waylay over the Raze that Art is going with.
which is definitely a interesting pick, which again, like I'm not too familiar with like Ender. Like I've seen them in like a couple things, but like I haven't really had a chance to really watch their gameplay. If they're just really into being like, you know, just the Waylay movement entry and that sort of thing, then obviously that's going to be, you know, still beneficial for them if they really want to get in through it. Because like I'm not super keen on the Cypher Sage double Senti on Sunset. Like it's an interesting flavor, but I just feel like it's not like really the direction you'd really want to be going for, because I feel like it puts a lot of onus on your entry to really be able to get in a lot of that space. Otherwise, you pretty much have to work the map and play off of the info of at least the Cypher and your Initiator to really make something sort of work, and then just, you know, maybe it just comes down to them relying on the firepower, which, I mean, to be fair, that's probably what's going to happen given it's Timmy's, but, you know, it's just, it's the outlier. I feel like I want to just point out that sort of just, like, I understand why they're doing it on paper, but in practice, obviously, it's, like, a completely different thing, but it still is, like, I don't think it's the de facto play style you really want to lean in for this map. At least that's what you're saying, at least in tier 1. But hey, if it works here, it works here. Why am I complaining? I'm a contrarian.
Yeah, I actually find it kind of interesting. You know, we think of Sage as often being the sort of generic E-kitten pick. It's in fact both H and Claps, the top-rated players for each of their respective teams, picking up the Sage, leaning into more of a, oh, you know what, at this level of play, getting a res off and just getting an extra body in, pretty good. Stack the person who is likely to get the most kills on that ult, and you should be able to get it pretty often.
Yeah, that was actually the thing that I was kind of going to mention too, is that actually both H and Claps are mirroring the Sage there, which is just funny. But I think it also comes down to really understanding the tempo and what they really need to do as the Sage, because the people that are really trying to use Sage are predominantly trying to use her as being that more like proactive Sentis, where it's like, oh, they're trying to like flood in or just try and just really flow through with their entry and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we all
arguably
remember,
like this.
we all remember that,
for that.
We all remember that wall play that PRX pulled out at Champs.
There is that
As
too,
it stands, looks like C9 will be going for a bit of a B play here to open up. We'll be going into the Cypher setup.
Especially with the lineup. They got those. You know, it's funny. I've still never actually learned that lineup, even though I probably should. I think I just hate lineup Larry.
A lot of delay here. In
Yeah,
fact,
and I mean, they've
rotates already pretty much here for TL. They should be able to flood, but
no, I think they're just
like,
really interested in breaking down that wall, Fuzzy. It just felt like they were just causing like, all that, really. Looks
like C9 happy to draw out that util early and start to work the rest of the map now.
Yeah, especially if they're going to get rid of such a big tool like that, especially on the pistol. It's just like, yeah, you might as well just create the question marks there and draw a lot of the attention in. I mean, that's it. You're trying to face out and see what's going on, because they essentially just froze, and you see one. You've at least got Claps willing to help you. That's the offensive wall coming out instead. They want to crunch in towards Caleb, and they're waiting. Able to get one up before the trade, though. But essentially, because you get down Caleb, that just leaves for Aegis to be taken completely. Somewhere in that chaos, Art did go down, but I mean, they still pretty much have all the onus on themselves. How to flood through and link might be a little difficult. Especially with all the noise they're making here.
1-for-1 trade up in top mid.
Yeah, but they are actually able to get Claps out of that. But it's so disconnected, at least with the jump in. That's just like Ender goes down, and now they're just flooding around. Linus, let's try to make something happen here, but no, now it's just down to slow in a 1v2.
Cage triggered.
Two different complete angles. Have to try and bait something out here. Finds case bars. Fade away, but time's running out. Has to find Iggy here. And is able to find him!
Problem.
And I'm pretty sure that's enough time. A 3K to save the round there for the pistol.
Clutch.
That's really a misplay by Igneous there. Slow Ready making the noise. Should have been able to just play around that box and just play to the time, but maybe a bit of an ego coming out from Igneous.
A little bit, yeah. I honestly think that came down from both of them fuzzy, actually, as a matter of fact, because I felt like a lot of them kind of reacted, especially to a lot of the noise, when I don't think you necessarily needed to, and it kind of just played to the advantage. And really, I mean, at least you were to take advantage of those mistakes that they were making to at least get the defensive pistol here.
I don't hate the first swing, but I think Igneous definitely could have just played to their outplayed time there, as we see this.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Marshall forced up for claps, but looks like the rest of the team will be on a fairly low buy.
See, I watched the episode of PlatChat today, and as it turns out,
It turns out Makai is dead.
it turns out Makai is dead, yes. I mean, I honestly don't think the smoke really kind of helps them in this way. It's really just to get off the outlaw, but it's like, you know it's there, so it's like, ugh. It's more that the reason why you see the Marshal out here is to maybe take advantage of anyone who doesn't buy armor on the economy, pretty much. Like, you're gonna buy some amount of guns. If you find someone who doesn't have armor, I mean, you're just one-shotting them with the Marshal now. It's pretty much just counter anti-eco. Something along those lines, so.
A lot of pressure here about to come into Caleb.
Yeah, especially, but I mean, he's rocking out here with the Ares, and Ender is still here. They have the guns to at least, like, chunk them down, and... I mean, I said it! Chunk them down! That's 3 on the... 3 kills there for Caleb to at least just stop the plant and the push completely.
Shishi would have gotten 4.
Wait, you are so right. Shout out Shishi showing everyone how to, you know, use the Ares. Claps. That's what I meant with yeah, that's what I meant with the Marshal. It's like, if you could just hit the shots with it, I mean, no, duh, that's what's gonna happen. That is the strength of it. But, I mean, if it's just gonna go completely around them instead of a direct hit, yeah, you're kind of screwed. But Producer Day is enjoying a Baconator during this map. He is enjoying it very much. You know what? If Ian wants to go and get... Yeah, I'm happy for you too. It's not Tim Hortons. I'll take a bacon. Baconator.
Looks like TL going here for a pretty true bonus. Not going to be forcing into this too hard.
No, and I mean, they still have some guns to kind of make it work out. H looking like they want to do a wall play, especially with the one rifle they have, but you drop it immediately! So ready for it, too.
Predicting that.
Yeah, and they can especially hit the goal button. You already saw Claps pick up the orb they needed in B main to get the res, so if they really wanted to push off this, they could, but they're making so much noise just messing around this wall so much. That even gives Caleb just... Exactly. That feels like a little bit of a blunder, not at least press in a little bit more. Just give them back the Phantom, or at least give them another chance back in. Yeah. I mean, you spot out Linus pretty much, but now you have to essentially wait for this to go through. You just go time, and I just feel they're not ready for it.
Already 3 here for TL.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of also see the flank team, but Kai's looking for a reaction first before they actually hit go. Trying to cause some amount of chaos. They're just going to whittle it down. But Kelvin, all that chaos, able to find 2 Ares again! Yeah, their complacency is just getting the better edge of them. And now with both the main players spotted
around.
Pretty much, yeah, but Micaiah doesn't expect Slow in this position at all, seemingly. And that's a rifle down! Give it to the pistol player here.
Flo could invest the ult here, too, if he wants.
If you really want to, I don't even think it's necessary. With 15 seconds left and going down, I think this round is pretty much wraps. Especially, okay, the small constellation of at least take you out slow, but because you weren't able to get through all the util there, the Cypher util as art, I mean, you kind of just concede that round, and I don't know. I understand the first look, but I feel like all the aggression that they were trying to show were just like standing within the choke, trying to draw out both teams' utility. I just feel like it just wasn't worth the trade because eventually someone was going to peek in too, and that's what you saw with the 2K.
Yeah, I mean, I think C9 just playing a bit too cautiously there after getting that first pick. You know it's an anti-eco. Even if it is a stacked site, you should be able to run them down. And the delay they had gave them the chance to make the rotates over. Now moving towards this A site, testing it out. They're going to run into the Cypher setup again. Yeah, they also have 2 rifles here, but they're at least able to spot the Waylay, and you're able to at least get a crazy
pick there on Class, but does get traded out with the Stingers. I got another thing with the whole, like, eco layers upon layers. Yeah, if you don't want to deal with marshals, Stingers are definitely the way to do it. Only problem is you've got killed on the other side of that smoke with an Odin, the classic Odin. They've kind of just taken all the space. They kind of need to get back into it. Only caveat being the off thing of that case was critting. Spotted out now, though, but that's at least 3 players spotted. Baits out the Paranoia Chew off of the site down main.
Yeah, not sure exactly what triggered that. In fact,
I don't think so
Caleb
either.
leaving, the lack of pressure from C9. Good cause pause by them. Trip,
Yeah,
though,
but
getting
just
value.
Yeah, they're going in so slowly and just, it doesn't feel like they really have any sort of direction with really what they want to go for. They're going and just losing a bunch of ones when they shouldn't really be giving up their lives to begin with. And once again, they find themselves on the back foot.
Still 4v2, 4v1 now. This should be unlosable, but we've seen crazier things.
Stranger things have happened. Micaiah, a bit whiffy, but able to get the first, but still hasn't managed to get 2 more, but a good spacing attempt there actually to kind of just draw it out, but honestly, it came down to Linus getting at least that first pick onto Art that really stopped that aggression from going in there.
Yeah, I mean, I like the call to freeze in the main better than in the last round, now that, you know, the other team has guns. Let them play against themselves, but in the end, the util on the A site did enough.
Yeah, it did enough, but also just the spacing. It just didn't feel like they really knew exactly how they wanted to really get back into the site. They were kind of just going in dry without any info because of the freeze, and I'm just struggling to figure out what was going on with that. I could say the exact same there.
And missing with the off is an unfortunate
Diabolical
start for TL.
Yeah, but I mean, that allows them to once again do another mid flood. I'm gonna be so honest with you, Fuzzy. Once I realized that people were just doing the smoke on the right side of top mid rather than just having to go through it themselves in the attack, it's sort of just like, it felt like a red card with that. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're also able to get killed about as well with the op, so you know what? The kills are going in their favor. Maybe I'm just wrong. 3 in the round here, at least for Claps, able to find the other 2 as well on the rotation. It's just all up to Ender, who's about to get surrounded in like 5 seconds.
Ender will be hard-pressed to keep this gun, and in fact will go down immediately. I don't know if you've heard this before, but I believe in this game, if you get shot, you die.
You lose the round, potentially could lose the game. It is an FPS game. Honestly, kind of sucks that Class got a 4K in that round, because if the res got used in one of the past 2 rounds, that would have been some great res economy there, but, well,
I
don't really need that when you have
C9
your
are
gun.
too upset about it.
No,
I think
definitely not, no.
Really, a lot of that round just came down to TL losing that initial pick in top mid, blew the map wide open.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a nitpick of like, yes, if you had a chance to use it at some point, just to kind of make it a little bit crazier. But again, who knows? Maybe they could get use out of it this round, especially with case bars going down to Ender peeking out. I mean, the only issue really is just how much attention with mid again.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Fuzzy. I don't know how comfortable I feel with just all of this mid aggression, especially when it's like you're taking mid to start. There's a team that famously consistently tried taking mid and like rounds to start, and it kind of just missed, so it was kind of hard to attack the map. A certain team that also got 13 node in tier 1. You only need, like, it's a 50-50 guess, but if you know ball, you know ball.
Numbers here already for TL. Looked like they were going to have 5 here at first, but at least 3 bunkering down on site now.
Yeah, but now they're completely just surrounded in here and taking really odd gunfights. Hard trying to satchel in with the op.
Be right back.
And all the players at Slate are just able to make something work there. Ender with 3 in the round here, and it's just down to a 1v3.
They don't
player
call
who
them
died at
goats
the very
for
round
nothing, but
No.
this would be a lot.
It would be a lot. Asking for it 20 seconds left as the Reds player. I mean, your goal really, if anything, break some of those guns out of their hands, especially that op. I think they're kind of be a little bit harder to work
10
with
seconds
here.
left.
Spots out the op, but just doesn't expect there to be the seconds. And that's a 5th round here for TL.
Yeah, Caleb so far the unexpected hero for TL as the H gets off to a slower start. He's had a couple of rough matches recently, but so far this map come out fighting.
Yeah, because it really it's coming down to, again, just the staggered, disconnected attacks when you're finally willing to take the site. And it's coming down to whoever's really just anchoring to kind of just make everything sort of happen. And that person has been Caleb thus far. Not that necessarily need an answer for Caleb. I feel like they kind of have to just address the fallacies in their attack so far.
H versus Claps again, and Claps gets the best of him once again.
Yeah, another crazy
Linus
angle there. That
under
was
a
really
lot of
hot.
pressure and goes down to Art.
Yeah, they spot out Caleb for a moment, but especially with that neural theft there. Wow, who would have thought a fast pop would have done him in? And it is working out so far. And I mean, you have to somehow manage to flood in with 2 Rebels and an Odin. You do at least have some ultimates to work with here. Like, I'm trying to see if you can get something on this lurk, though. Especially to disrupt the timing of any potential ults that go in.
I think Caleb heard that, but
He's
he's gonna waste a lot of time.
Rewraps on rewraps is crazy. And you get punished for it. Oh. I mean, but the thing is, they're still whittling down this time.
That wasted like 20 seconds for Caleb.
It did.
He was now going all the way back down mid and is gonna find Claps.
Yeah,
Does find Claps and kill him, but I don't know if TL don't have the time to go for this.
It just makes it feel like they weren't even willing to attempt a retake of any sort, because it just felt like Caleb was just walking around the map doing anything, and neither Ender or Slow wanted to even bother trying to push into the side at all. It would just made me very confused as to what the plan was for, you know, the plant going down.
Yeah, not quite sure there.
I don't think it was eco
I like that look
either.
a lot better for C9 though. I think these fast pops, if they're able to go for them, are gonna favor their playstyle as a team a lot more. Claps.
Yeah, it really just comes out of finding that pace, really. I think they really are okay with either. I think it's just really their misunderstanding of how they want to actually do any sort of pressure beyond a freeze. But it's like, if it's not working out, let's just try for a pop. There's no point trying to put any more layers to it.
Breaking the store in mid instantly. Linus, though, finding Art.
Yeah, I think only died there because of the body block accidentally from Iggy, and I mean, Caleb was able to find one more, but doesn't go down to Makai, at least in the trade there. King Scrappy, they're still anchoring through on the side. They don't really have too much space to really work with here. Likely spotted out. Linus, I think spotted somebody,
unnoted out onto the site and finds Slow, but Linus gets better of case bars.
Yeah, even investing the paranoia when it was already a free kill, but I mean, that's buying enough time. A lot of confusion. Linus trying to make something work out here, but you're already just getting pushed up by Claps anyway. Trying to find out who to aim for in this 2v1 here. But that's Makai still going down in all that chaos.
Two bullets. Left, one for each player. And it will be none in the end.
Honestly, I could have seen the kill at least on H there. I could have imagined that, but unfortunately not. And we got another round that kind of slips away from them. I don't know if it's necessarily just because of like the mistakes they're kind of making on their part, or if it's just like just stumbling over, really. Like again, like I'm seeing the glimmers, and they have like some sort of idea with how they want to like target them through, but it just kind of feels like they're taking the first step, or at least putting in like all these micro details, but the fundamentals, it's sort of just being a little bit forgotten. It's kind of costing them.
C9 down onto a bit of an eco here.
A bit of an eco. 3 people have rifles, 2 with pistols. Is it really the outcome? No, I mean, you can definitely make something work here, especially, yeah, because Art actually has the showstopper
Case Bars is fully forcing into this via...
Yeah, I guess this is just a set play, but they really wanted to use the showstopper to open things up. And you're able to find H off of that kill, too. That's the resurrection down.
Big first pick.
Big indeed. I mean, you have all this space you can really push out here if you want. A little overzealous, but Claps is able to still get one before getting traded up, but that's no resurrections at all. But there's so many ultimates coming through. Everyone left alive on the defense has an ultimate they can invest into this if they want to. And the peek out is really unideal there. And And yeah, it's the neural theft and the nightfall already getting invested in through. All this attention. Kills him to get one, and Makai having to make this work out, trying to get off the flank. And Kelb's just trying to stick, but gets off.
One enemy remaining.
One left, and is
Oh my god.
get the 4K out of all that.
Is there time? There
Barely
absolutely is.
Really think they
Caleb
can scare me?
stepping up in the absence of H right
Whatever
now.
happens, Sakin, don't panic. Trembling.
God, I wish
Odin.
Plat could have an Odin like this, because maybe I'd actually be impressed, but wow. Caleb just... Out of, like, all the people that people, like, in PCMT know who use this weapon, I genuinely end up getting the most impressed by Caleb, or it's more the fact that out of all these scrappy fights where you'd probably want a rifle or something like that, you're at least able to manage that and anchor it down with the Odin. Like, it is genuinely impressive seeing his gameplay with this. It really is.
Bring them down.
C9 pressuring towards A bit and drawing out the Waylay ult, actually. Ender
Yeah, drawing it out, but
finding
Iggy's
the pick
left
on
on an
Igneous.
island.
Down A.
Yeah, it's just they just pretty much just leave Iggy to die there, essentially. It's like some TP out, but
Res is available here.
it is available.
like-
I think they're trying to find at least a pick to equalize it before that. This is what it seems like.
Your duty is not over.
They
Just
take the
trying to make
space.
sure that they have the space, that he won't go down instantly. Caleb, though, good for another.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Caleb was the one that was unnoted. I think they were really just trying to find Ender there, so it just left for us, like, yeah, just get the free pick and get out. Oh, you still can.
Caleb finally goes down.
Now it should maybe slow things down, but I mean, you kind of see there's a wall on the main side of it where they pretty much just have to go elbow, but there's still 3 people anchored here, 3v3 essentially.
3v3, and C9 can't leave, or it's a free res for H. Going for it anyways, and
going
getting
for
the
the
pick
double
onto
swing.
Art.
Yeah, they pretty much just called the play where it's like, you know what? Let's just swing into it, see what happens. Sometimes they get punished, but not this time. And now they pretty much just have to more or less panic. I mean, they're willing to just take the
only the sheriff
5v2.
because of the buy he went for last round. Not working out. Finds the trip.
They didn't even destroy the trip either. I like obviously was shooting for it, but the bullet left. That's unfortunate.
He hit it again.
There, yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, no, it's pretty much Iggy having to make something to do with this rifle. I don't even think you want to invest the Nightfall into this either.
Last player standing.
Oh, that peek actually from Ender just trying to bait out the person that could have been like on the left of that cage. That was so good for at least them to kind of just peek out. It could have been a really chaotic crossfire and just a spray down on the side of Igneous, but he handled it beautifully with only 1 death.
Yeah, gets the consolation prize with the kill onto Linus, but overall, TL looking dominant so far on this map.
Yeah, because I'm trying to recall. I can't remember if it was the last C9 match or what, or if it was someone else where it's just like, oh, they weren't hot on map 1 Sunset, and it might take some time for it. I'm hoping to see some sort of adjustment too, because I feel like it might be a little too late to really see the attack adjustments I was alluding to within these past few rounds, or these next 2.
Looks like more of a fast B look here now. Trip setup
I mean,
switched up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they won the round last time, and surely you just gotta try it again. Not a great first step, though. That's your Nightfall going down to the spray, and this is just looking like peak 100 Thieves. Spraying through everything, and they just cannot get a foothold whatsoever. Clap's trying to do what you can with the 3v3 equalizing it.
Yeah, you say
With
that.
H at the rotate still.
Backside control given up by C9, but H will be late here.
Yeah, that smoke time is going to be imperative, especially with 1 being spotted out. You still have to wait a little bit.
Ooh,
Just
Makai
go
nearly
for
gets
it
a
and-
second.
I don't know if that trade really goes in their favor, honestly, though. I mean, there's a chance, especially... But Art on the flank. I don't think they would expect this
I don't
rewrap.
think they expect this at all.
1 enemy remaining.
But you don't go greedy out. You don't actually know that Sage is there. Sage v Sage battle for this round here. But revealed the position. Claps. Getting another freebie onto H here. And able to get themselves a 3rd round. A much needed 3rd round.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able to bring this up to 8-4, or able to bring themselves up to 4.5, they can honestly be happy with this. Well, maybe not happy with it, but it's not a complete disaster. They are playing that double senti comp, so you might expect defense and post plants to be their strong suit here.
Yeah, because I mean, that is what you've been
We'll
seeing.
see how drilled TL is on the attack side, but...
Yeah, because I guess that is the one thing to really bring up, because really the only difference is just the sense in the duelist, where it's like you should have those issues as well. A wonderful off-angle playing with the wall to at least get the peek on a case bars, but Argoy and Reckless Abandon gets one before getting traded out, though. Collapse is one away from the resurrection, so I think they're going to try to have to use that as a game plan here, but for now, Makai just trying to see what you can find with this mid lurk here. Check also the chaos with the Nightfall. I don't know if that was supposed to be used as a sound bait, really. Makai was looking for timing, but... Oh, that could have been bad if you just pulled the TP, but... Luckily for just a second, but that's causing so much chaos, and especially a lot of looks going towards mid. Calling them off, too, when they haven't really budged whatsoever. They still want to end A.
Yeah, that presence from Makai in mid actually did a lot to draw them towards B. It's now only onto H here. He's had a quiet game
take out
so
Collapse.
far.
And that takes out the resurrection out of this as well, so you can't do anything. It's now an authentic 4v2. Hell, if H can manage to at least get one more kill and somehow stay alive, resurrection on their part, but clearly unnecessary and clearly wasn't going to happen, but
30 seconds left.
Iggy with nearly full util in a 1v3 here?
Planted. I'll find
I
you.
mean, play your cards right. Make that fourth a reality. Crazy gamble to wrap at least towards back, not necessarily knowing where they are, but not spotted out quite yet. I've seen people winning these pauses before. Only good for the one. Unfortunately, Iggy is not saucy.
Yeah, 9-3 half here coming out for TL. Astounding performance, honestly, by Caleb. 17 and 8 so far. Outfragging Claps, who's on the 15 and 9. K-Spar is having a bit of a rough one so far, but never doubt this man. He can win you rounds.
I still want to shout out actually because you're bringing up Caleb, and then that was the main person I was painting the picture for mid-half as being like one of the anchor players, but I think you're failing to see that, hey, there is the second anchor player here too that's just right behind Caleb, and that's Slow Ready, sitting on 11 and 7. Both anchoring it down pretty much in all the chaos. Curious to see what they can do on the attack, considering near perfect comps here on the same side just flipped over. We'll see if they do struggle on this attack here.
Like a bit of a defaulty look here from TL so far, not breaking that A main wall.
No, because I think they were just funneled off, especially because of the round start either from Iggy, so it just kind of funneled them off, and now they just have to go into all of the usual here. Cypher util, Omen smoke here. You have enough of the bodies, but they're rotating off of nothing. They're rotating off of nothing.
I honestly don't really agree with what you said earlier. I mean, the wall is between you and the players, so any util that comes out doesn't make too much of a difference. I would have liked them to see them break it and threaten that early A push, but instead, all of the rotates drawn over from...
Yeah. It's more just the
C9.
passivity that they chose for, really, and just choosing to dodge the eye and just leave it. And I mean, at this point now, you were saying that, and well, the wall's gone now completely. If they wanted to
I
make
agree.
the pivot, they could. And
I
just
like
causing
that
question marks.
instead of that, since they didn't break it, I like that they did take that pause, waiting for the wall to break, as now they go into this B exit.
Exactly, but you're going into like a very unstacked site pretty much, and you're able to find case bars at least, but Slow gets traded out as well. Having to figure out how to flood this in before they all get in. Not really taking too much risk, trying to just find their opening, but it doesn't matter. Ar's able to get multiple with the paranoia.
Player standing.
On for the ace for crying out loud, but Collabs. Ruined the ace for Art, but you know what? It's fine. You got another round win here. A much needed round win, especially considering that you've been so down, and that's your defensive pistol there. 9-4.
Yeah, starting with the pistol is absolutely essential for C9's hopes in this map. Getting that economy off to a strong start. Going for the double Marshall here. And I don't know if you're seeing this, but if you press tab, TL may be going for a bit of a force. We'll see.
I do feel like it's a
maybe
little
not.
bit odd. No, because I realized I kind of miscalled it earlier. The whole play, especially with the defensive snowball, is pretty much having that Marshall to take out, you know, these players who aren't even bringing any armor in. Classic armor, just full eco. They're just gonna get one taps. I find it a little odd bringing in like the Phantom and the Spectres on top of that, but I mean, it's just insurance at this point. You just have to hope you don't drop any of these guns.
Cover going out.
Why am I dropped out and they're still
at this point,
respecting
C9
the wall?
just need to get any round that they can. So
Pretty
whatever
much, yeah.
insurance that they can get, they will take. TL
just gotta hope that you
pausing in
don't-
mid here, and Igneous might be about to peek into a family picture, but decides against it.
No, I think it's because they kind of realize that they can only funnel into two places with that wall. They can only either funnel in through, you know, B or top mid, and with all the noise they're making, clearly they've made their choice. Only a few tag players are trying to get out, just trying to stay alive and not give them a gun.
Where are you?
Igneous
I mean,
gonna have to
especially with
do a
no
lot to
backup,
stay
especially.
alive. Micaiah does find H on the lurk.
Yeah, but there's still the 4-player death ball, and you're barely only getting out here with Flaps now.
Igneous gets one,
But
but
the
goes
Eagles are
down
not
as
great
does
for it at all.
Flaps.
Yeah, no, because they're both isolated so much from each other. It was just, the death ball was just able to go in and just completely overwhelm them.
Still, it is those two Spectres and the Phantom left for C9. As
And that's
Micaiah
another one
goes
dropped
down.
out, though. Losing so much, and now she's down to the Phantom in a 1v2. Both reasonably low, but
Thrifty.
it gets Swifty as well. This is what I was worried about, Fuzzy. Oh, you really hate to see it.
I mean, you gotta credit the team play from TL there. Just
I
running
am.
at them as a death ball, you know,
Yeah.
is effective, but with that gun advantage, it was pretty much all classics coming into the round for TL. That is a rough one to lose for C9, as they are going to, looks like they're going to buy what they can, but
Yeah. I
It's
think
gonna
it
be a
just kind of sucks.
Guardian.
'Cause
it's Sheriff
think
and
they-
2 Stingers here.
Cover going
Yeah,
out.
I think they really just wanted to do a full retreat, but they really couldn't. It just allowed for them to just take the death ball, and I'm just like, oh my god, that is a gambit. Just like the gambit here from Art, able to push her and get Hage on top of the wall. Trying for some sort of trap play, but they're the ones that are played out here instead.
Down mid.
Everything going in favor, even investing the ult into it from Art.
Or gets
And as we
another-
just gave them a back pedal, it just went back in the opposite direction completely. These wrestlers keep swaying back and forth in the most absurd ways possible.
Yeah, Ender and Linus, a lot to do here.
Lots
I
to
thought
do,
Ender was in
especially
an
considering
interesting
they get the
position
spike.
before, but choosing to group up with Linus instead
Last player standing.
I mean, trying to
Squats.
try and flush.
gives Linus a haircut. Does not return the favor for Ender, but
No, but I mean, it's still rather difficult. You do have the refract in the dash to at least try and break something here, but you have to recover the spike, and so you just try into the Odin, and just like we had a Thrifty in the last round for the attack, C9 just bring it back to them in Thrifty of their own.
yeah, H cannot be happy with how that went. I think the I believe what happened was Linus might have gotten caught on a smoke timing and wasn't able to watch mid, and Art was able to find the perfect time and get the backstab there, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But at the end of the day, that is a much needed round win again for C9, who come into this round now with the gun advantage. Linus and H with the Phantoms, but
Same
no
default as
other weaponry to
before.
speak of.
Yeah, I mean, they're just running the same default possible at A, where it's just, oh, the eye, hold them off for the one way, and then on top of the wall. So, really, that was
What
a
a spray
devious
transfer.
spray control. Yeah. Aren't able to get two before going down, but you still at least have claps here with the res. So, if you want to try and resurrect somebody, you at least have the means of doing so. Maybe not necessarily now that you're at least able to get the one. They're just willing to flood back in through market pretty easily.
In this case, where I predict the position of Ender, it looks like no.
Remaining.
But
Not
Micaiah-
immediately, but it still goes down, and Caleb making heroics happen again, but with the Phantom, but not quite instead. Goes down to the Odin on the opposite fate instead. And that's a sixth round here for C9.
his own Odin ending up being the death of him in the next round. Caleb,
Yeah.
off to a much slower start in this half, was 17 and some number on the defense, now only finding 2 so far in this half.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of what I was trying to build up towards. Because of the A default that they're pretty much going down to, because they're so unwilling to threaten destroying that wall or try to threaten any pressure there to be like, okay, we're just going to completely avoid the wall. They're pretty much getting corralled into having to go out of one of 3 lanes, either market, main, or mid, and the top one worked because of the eco, but I think the whole game plan is to really go through that market, and, well, you kind of see what happened. They were able to funnel them in and completely spray them down.
Yeah, H going for the early cheeky wall in mid. Spotted out, but clapping back with his own silly wall.
Yeah, I mean,
Finding
that's
the
so
first
safe
pick
for
on
us
the
down
slow ready.
too. They're obviously not going to really try and push out any of this map pressure, but that is such a really good agent to really go down from them to at least be like, okay, they really can't funnel in for most of this map pressure they really need to do. They either, again, have to go in dry or pretty much all up to kill, just trying to get any information they can.
Yeah, well, and it makes it much harder for TL to call on this attack, too, having to fully re-clear any space that they want to come back into instead of trusting those Cypher trips as Igneous finds H in mid as well. Ender gets one back, but traded instantly by K-Spars.
Yeah, that entire time you're really seeing it. They try to go for at least a push through on the util, but the mid lurk gets picked off too, and they're not really losing out on anything. I mean, some of these picks are now going a little bit back and forth. Getting rather scrappy, but it just feels like everything's just in on the attack to at least know what they need to do now.
30 seconds left. 1 enemy remaining.
Art clean as ever. Still needs to get one more kill to bring this one back, and is able to do so! A much needed 7th round. I honestly thought it was going to at least, it was starting to go in their favor. But then after the mid kill and the kills into sight, it started to get a little alarming, but not only making the heroics, that's also somewhat breaking the eco on the side of the attack.
I'm stepping in here for just a second. You guys couldn't see it. Caleb just stood up there and just slammed his hands down. It was not good.
Oh,
Bro's
no.
pissed.
Hey, yo, get a replay on that one. I mean, you see Art being the heroics in that round, bring up the op, and ready for the same strat potential with that wall. Caleb barely
Connecting so far.
Yeah, not connected so far, but it does reveal the op on the defensive side, and I mean, that's going to cause a lot of pressure and a lot of rotates from that side, not able to get anything out here. Not too sure where the attack is going to really pounce from, if it's just going to be, you know, a 5-ball death ball if anyone's trying to pressure out their mid. That's what Collapse is looking for. Convergence pass going in, and another missed op shot, really. Can't utilize anything there, but when in doubt, Micaiah angry through the side with the smokes.
Down B.
Doesn't connect.
Finally, a
with
support
that
from the
spam,
op there,
but
too.
1 enemy remaining.
Trades favoring C9 once again. Claps closing it up, and suddenly C9 are within 2 here.
Yeah, honestly, it was a really great idea to at least fight there on the defensive side, especially because they're willing to just funnel it through just the smoke and just give it up, especially when they thought they had advantage, but no, as it turns out, the defense was ready for it, and clearly, Hayes just had enough. He needs to try and make some sort of pivot with this timeout.
Yeah, interested to see what they'll be talking about here. I'm not exactly sure what the adjustment they should make is. You know, their comp, the double Senti, you expect their post plant to be very strong, but they haven't really been able to make it into any post plant scenarios with a lot of Senti util still left in the round. You know, that Sage wall often useful for closing off an entrance for the attack to come back into, but H sitting at the bottom of the TL scoreboard right now, really having a rough one so far.
Yeah, because I was going to point out that exactly. It's like they keep, especially like on the attacks, like they're really just using a lot of these walls for very selfish means rather than trying to use that in the post lane in any regard. And I mean, you're kind of seeing it. It's just Hayes just trying to make the heroic plays, which I feel like tends to be at least a downfall for someone trying to lead their team on, trying to shoulder the burden, and majority of the time it feels rather difficult.
Keep yapping. I need to go back in the stream to check on something.
Telling me how to do my job when I already do the Yap King? Not too difficult to play-by-play, especially when Makai just sprayed up for 3!
Enemy remaining.
They were perfectly ready for the aggression. I guess they just kind of realized, okay, you know what? We haven't been doing too much A. Surely they just do the fast A, and Yamble was right, actually. They're perfectly ready for any aggression. And just like that, out of the timeout, we spent less time in that round than in the timeout itself, leading into it. Which
That's one of the funniest post-timeout rounds I've seen in a while.
Fuzzy telling me to yap when the action is just going on. I'm like, what is going on? This is the fastest round we've had in this map thus far. At least now it should go back to some amount of normalcy, considering, but I don't know. I don't know if this is really the round that you're trying to find an adjustment for. I mean, ideally it does. You want it to be that round, but it doesn't feel like they've made much of an adjustment.
My ult's ready.
And you've already got 2 down in the first 15 seconds of the round. The passage is really starting to get them. You're good. You're good.
I was going back in the broadcast to check. K-Spars did very briefly pie, and we let him get away with it. Just wanted to, couldn't let that go unnoticed. But anyways,
couldn't let it go unnoticed. I could have cared less. I'll leave that up to the co-streamers to find it. But I mean,
Res coming out here for TL's 4v5, but still another disadvantage round for them.
yeah, and I mean, they already invested into the shadows just for the sake of an attack rotation, and especially with the util being thrown out now, and they should realize that they're really just trying to end A here.
If they are able to get into this A site quickly, they will have the advantage, but it looks like C9 happy to just play this for flood. As I say that, Makai just walks through smoke and finds Caleb.
Exactly, they're just taking the angles, trying to at least find some sort of fight here that's more favorable, and Linus already dropping down, but got spotted immediately. Clap's just trying to hold from the CT position, trying to see if anyone would push out. The elbow didn't push out, but you're still in the prime position to take any solo fight you can. And now it's just right from the flooded, but Linus able to match out with 2 here.
Linus gets 2, but not enough. TL really playing kind of individually in that post plant. It is tough because you're down players, but would have really rather seen them stack up on the same angle and try to trade each other as opposed to taking a bunch of ones.
Yeah, I mean, it was starting to kind of go that way, especially because, okay, the defense finally was realizing, okay, we got the picks that we kind of need to. Let's try and flood in. Linus Heroics could have maybe turned the tides in that position there, considering, especially because Art, I think, was like 1 HP. Almost could have died there as well, and that could have made things at least a little bit more volatile, but all
After
for naught, and now it's equalized.
After a 9-3 half, yeah, TL
There.
going into the half, leading 9-3. C9 winning the past 6 to equalize it now at 10-10.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that was pretty much what we were alluding to, is like, okay, we're curious to see if the same thing is just going to happen for the double senti on the attack, and I feel like it has happened, but not for the same reasons that it wasn't working for C9's attack. I feel like it's 2 completely different lines of that are being drawn for the mistakes that are really going wrong for this attack. But it doesn't really deter from the fundamental fact is the double senti comp is struggling on attack. Who would have thought?
If TL go fast here, they will find the site with only 1 player on it, but Igneous does have the Odin, will be difficult to trade if he gets a first pick onto someone. Wall has dropped, and this is the good timing for TL here. They go for the full execute with the Nightfall as well. Igneous
but Nightfall
dodges
doesn't
it, though.
skin out Iggy. They send it in so shallow that's just like, okay, it doesn't even connect.
Doesn't skin
The
it, but
only caveat you're bringing the one
this
way.
is the free site for them, but it will be a 5v5 retake, and so far, C9's retakes have been nothing to
Look at
sneeze
the ultimates they have on the side of the defense there, Fuzzy. They have 4 ults going into this. And that's one already ripped off with the showstopper. Doesn't find anything. The rewrap actually, I think, might confuse them completely.
Linus getting value from that high box position, getting another one. And suddenly it's all onto K-Spars here. Chooses to invest the neural theft, but this will be a tall ask. Knows the positions of all players now.
So much info.
But they're playing it smart,
so
not giving him any fights. I say that,
Yeah.
H decides it's time to turn his game around and closes it out.
Yeah, I was really just looking at that the entire time, and it really just came down to the pace that they were really playing out there on the attack. They pretty much had what looked like to me like a double flank out from main, pretty much. Just wrapping around to see all the defense flutters going in, but they don't do it immediately. They just let Linus and everybody else in sight kind of play it out first to really see and then bring it out. And it's just, yeah, what were you supposed to do on the side of K-Spar? It's just playing it slow and at a complete deficit. They invested how many of their ults? Oh, okay, just 2 of their ults into it, so it's not as bad going into it, but it definitely feels like they kind of just got corralled, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the coach from TL either not liking what they saw in that round win or really liking it and wanting them to double down on it, calling another timeout here. I believe this is the last timeout for TL in this game. We'll see if they're able to run with that round win or if it'll be another streak of rounds for C9. One being the longest streak of rounds TL has been able to put together on this half, winning that eco round in this round 2, but we'll see how it goes.
Something. I actually am getting vibes of a certain team that went up 9-1 on Summit and then won 2 rounds from there to get 13-11s. Not on this map, clearly, but, you know.
Summit,
I'm getting a little bit of vibes.
You know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. A really odd angle, but barely spotting out. Actually, just tries to at least go for it, but doesn't get punished. But Micaiah is the one actually playing super committed there. I don't think they're going to expect that, especially though they go back, so they can always revisit it later. But again, the only position that they're really taking is just the aggressiveness through mid.
Dog did
and that's
not
the second
clear
Prowler
him.
use. It doesn't even spot up Micaiah.
It's not going to be expected here unless they really don't trust that util and choose to hard clear this box, but
no,
maybe dodging the bullet, running away from this site.
Yeah, definitely dodging it indeed, because they definitely would have fallen into the trap there that they did not expect. But now you see it, and again, like, they're just holding passive A, giving up B completely, and was already kind of guarded as is. They're just all stuck in 5 in mid. Market door close. They have to funnel through mid to make something work here. And what do you expect? Of course, K-Spor's gonna flood and just spray down for 2. Stuck at their own slows as well, or somebody's slows for that matter.
It's a rough one. They do find K-Spars, but Claps here holding this cross.
And the smoke is incredible to at least get the fall down. Linus trying to make something happen here for the team. And now it's equalized, but trying to push out H is getting picked off by the Odin.
H was just sitting in that smoke, and
Camera taken
the
out.
guy with the Odin spams through the smoke. Who would have seen it? Linus with only 10 HP here. It's going to be most of the pressure on Slow Ready here to make something happen with this round.
Yeah, but Slow is so concerned with the flank, which already rotated off, and now they're just really just investing into it and just hasn't managed to roll 1v3 here. Sure, can spray through, but you're just going to walk through, and yeah, you're just held.
Gun here.
I think they really just concerned themselves so much, especially after the man deficit. That's like, okay, you spotted someone on flank, you feel the onus to have to watch through it, but it's just like, it's also the one flank, leaving your teammate who's essentially one shot to have to deal with the brunt of the flood that's going through, especially when they rotate through, and it's like, yeah, like it was honestly a little bit rough there to really see, especially off of the recovery that Linus was able to make for them in the second bit of that take. And now we're equalized up to 11-11.
I mean, TL did match their longest win streak of the half so far, but unable to improve on it. Still only 1. As Art is now here in mid with the op smoked off.
Yeah, but the same default really sent out as before. The same A default, and they're still not breaking the wall really. Still just conceding the space completely. It seems like they really want to go into something else. They have a plan. They want to probably just go into B, because why would you just flash the ult like that? But the position, I don't really like this. They're trying to just group up for some really goofy 4-1.
H does break the wall over towards A now, so that's going to draw a bit of pressure towards that site, but
they're more just not budging, though. That's the thing.
I mean, there's no other util behind it. So, Art's still watching mid. A lot of pressure going to be on K-Spars here to absorb this hit once it does come in.
Yeah, holding it very shallow, but still, now you're at least holding the market line, so Makai can actually help through this. And now they've just hit the go button. A little bit faster with that smoke, but again, the flood through just doesn't matter. You're just able to spray it down. Incredible read there to at least like spray it on K-Spars there from Caleb to at least equalize it, but
30 seconds left.
still in the back foot, especially with Makai's position here.
This is a weird
And
one.
that's H just found out
finds
completely.
H, gets the pick onto Slow. All of a sudden, it's advantage for C9 once again.
Yeah, especially with the Nightfall invested into there. Isn't able to quite get the one on Linus, but that's so much pressure still found out, and that's both players. And
Yeah, of course you're gonna have to go through all this chaos. 6 HP getting sprayed out.
You have the Odin and bombs down. You don't have to swing through that smoke. You can just spam the bomb, but
Thanks.
all of a sudden, C9 find the lead finally in this map. And they're the first to get up to match point.
I do find that a little bit odd though, because like I understand what you're saying, where it's like, okay, you have the Odin, maybe just make an attempt to just spray it down, but I feel like just with all the util that they still had left even after the flood, but especially because they didn't have to throw in a lot of it because of Makai's positioning. It just kind of allowed them to just steamroll on through, and I mean, they're about to steamroll through if they can win this next round here, especially with how like, they did not have a good buy going into the attack on that last round, and now you look at it, there's not a single automatic rifle going into this.
It is going to be a rough one here for TL. Claps going for the same wall H went for earlier in the half, getting the same value from it.
Same value indeed, but I don't think they're actually expecting the second layer. Makai, but a goddamn outlaw to deal with all these light armors. It'll at least one-shot 2 more of these people that are still alive on the attack side here for TL.
Hitting the economy well. TL are given the resurrection for free.
They're still having to stick behind this wall. They have to just sit in main. They're pretty much just winning, I think, just for this wall to either be broken or break by itself. When to go for the wall, the sound cue. Still able to stay alive to your claps, which, I mean, you kind of need to stay alive. You've got the resurrection. But they still haven't really hit the go button off of that. They've done, like, a passive cam, but they're not budging.
They do still have 50 seconds to work here, and they have drawn out the rotates of C9 now. If they are able to beat them in the foot race over to the B site.
Yeah, but I mean, Casper's already
but
on it, so it's like, it's not good to hold them off completely, but we'll at least know what's going on, especially when you're tagging your cam a bunch. To be fair, they are hearing that. They know what's up, but yeah, I think that's the go sign for them to realize, yeah, they probably aren't here quite yet, but actually, this position from Casper's, I don't think you're going to expect that, and that's H down! And that's a neural theft as well! I think it was actually the weirdest pump fake possible because I didn't realize it was just 2 that rotated.
I mean, I loved the call. Do the B fake. The fake worked perfectly, but then H throws his life away and Market losing out to K-Spars. Claps gets 1. Traded out, though. No resurrection available for the defense.
No, I mean, now it actually is just getting scrappy, especially with that Nightfall being infested by the late Caleb just going through, like, through spawn. But they keep going back and forth. How do you expect to make anything work off this? And outdone with the very gun that he has been able to pioneer. Aki on the other side, managing to mirror it completely and bring them across 13-11.
Yeah, I mean, what a gritty comeback from C9. Really just never giving it up. It is called the 9-3 curse for a reason. Maybe C9 fans consider it the 9-3 blessing, but C9 gonna be very happy with that. Maybe gonna go back and take a look at their attack side, but TL have to be kicking themselves over that.
Yeah, especially. I mean, you're looking at some of the scoreboard right now. How many in total is that? I'm like counting this mental math because I'm dumb. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 kill, 9 first bloods total on the side of TL. That gets not just matched but surpassed by the side on C9. Oh my god. We'll analyze everything we kind of had to say there on Sunset, and we'll be back in a few minutes going to Ascend, I think. Yeah, Ascend.
When your heart is broken, you simply cannot trust what your mind is telling you. makes heartbreak so difficult to heal. Addicts know they're addicted. They know when they're shooting up. But heartbroken people do not. But you do now. But you do now. When your heart is broken, you simply cannot trust what your mind is telling you. You're just feeding your addiction. When your heart is broken, you simply cannot trust what your mind is telling you.
Well, we're back and we're heading
back.
into Ascent, and me
man.
quickly check on everything. That was at least C9's map pick there of Sunset,
Can you
so
hear me?
now we're going to TL speaking of Ascent here, and
This is awesome.
I'm definitely curious to see what
Fuzzy reload real
they
quick.
bring out through here.
Fucking go.
Especially because I don't see them running the double senti on Ascent, but could happen. Mayhaps. But yeah, what we're trying to kind of allude to before the end of that, it was pretty much first kills going in favor of C9. It was like 15 compared to 9 combined, and you already had 9 between like what was it? It was pretty much between
Test.
Claps with 6 and then
Testing.
testing. There you are.
Let's go. We're so back.
Yeah, we are Barack. But yeah, no, like with 6 first kills from Claps, it was pretty much matched by everybody except for I think 1 on the side of C9 that just equalized on every first kill that happened on the side of TL. Which I don't think necessarily was the perpetuating factor for it all, but at least still interesting to note, especially with that. Yeah, and I mean, it was C9's pick. Obviously, they kind of had a game plan going into it. Maybe in a way, it kind of just felt like TL were trying to just go for like a Temu version of what they were doing. And I mean, well, considering that C9 started on the attack, they were able to just get their defense half second and, well, pretty much pulled a, I don't know, what would you call it, like a giant? I don't even, who are like the people in VCT right now that are pretty much playing like, oh yeah, we're playing this just for this specific side and that's it. It's like, there's a few teams, but it's like, yeah, I just don't see that being pulled out here on Ascent.
The one you came up with, which turned out being a bit of a Nostradamus prediction, was the Fnatic Summit, the 9-3 into 13-11. You called that shit at like 6-2 or something like that, and we're just correct. I don't know.
We're just correct. Why are you taking credit for my Nostradamus? That's crazy.
We're just correct. W-E-R-E, no apostrophe.
Damn, I could hear the apostrophe like partially in there, but I heard you like erasing it midway through. It's okay. Either way, though, I think we're still waiting for at least a little bit to go into Ascent, but again, like now it's like, okay, you had a chance at least on that first half if you're TL. it clearly slipped away from you like you were Fnatic. If you want to mimic that, there's only one thing you can do, which is, you know, not get 13-0'd. Thoughts? I mean, it's their map pick. If they somehow get 13-0'd on a sense on their own map pick, it's nearly going to be like mirrored out completely. So
that would be, you know, I would consider myself a Boaster fan. You know, I'm not really a Fnatic fan. I enjoy Boaster though. I think he's a lot of fun. I think that would be a bit of a hard commitment to the bit of being a Boaster
really
fan if they were
be.
to get 13-0'd here. Plebs insta-locking the Clove here, as he is wont to do.
Their primary pick, it's like I was saying at the top of the show, their top 2 picks, Clove, followed by Sage. You just went through the second one. Well, now it's time for the red buffs to come back through. And I mean, like you see on the flip side, I mean, Slow has a Phoenix. That much I can say. It can be sometimes hot or cold, but usually it's actually I would say one of Slow's better picks, honestly. Like, that is an agent that I would associate with Slow having some of his better performances on. And I mean, if you're going to try to do anything to take back in this series, especially with, you know, the rest of your team just kind of being set up to kind of enable you through. Again, you have Ender bringing the Waylay again to just act as that movement duelist. And then supporting util from Caleb, Linus, and H. I at least want to see what you can kind of do to like make things work out here, because otherwise, I mean, you are pretty much seeing, again, another, I don't know if it's exactly the same mirror comp that Clown9 played Ascent on last, but I feel like it's such like a tall ask to really go against this double duelist squad plus claps going in and then the supporting util. It's just, it's going to be tough. But if you want to mount anything to start with, it's going to be on this attack. I
think players to watch for TL are going to have to be Ender and H. I think H heavily underperformed on that last map. I think we have to give credit where credit's due. Caleb really carried them through that defense half, and that was, I mean, if that's something that happens more reliably now, I'm all for it, but through the season so far, that isn't something that you can rely on the side of TL. Really going to need to see H step it back up, and hopefully Ender going to get a bit more value on the entry, because he was also really struggling on that attack side.
Yeah, I mean, you're really looking at those players to really have like the improvement, whereas I feel like if you're really trying to twist what you're leading into as players to watch for, to me, my flip side is actually the players that you kind of saw performing in that last map and are going to be the ones that can, if they don't recover, really, it's the people that you're going to need to perform for this. And I mean, if Caleb can somehow do some amount of deadlifting to kind of just bring his team back into this, I feel like that's going to be absolutely pivotal. I really do think so.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb was putting in work with the Odin, and Ascent has been historically and still is a very Odin-friendly map.
Yes.
It doesn't get to start on the defense side, though.
No.
C9, as this was TL's map picking the defense side, because who wants to start attack on Ascent? Absolutely no one.
Clearly, Tim Dyslexia, not like it was their choice, but... I mean, it is honestly, yeah, but it is a different flavor of double duelist, because again, like you're bringing out the Waylay versus like the Gen on the other side, neither like a Neon on either side, which I mean, you could still technically do if you wanted to, but different flavors of the same thing. You're really not looking at the entry duelist for this. That's also kind of why I was like, yeah, Ender does obviously need to kind of show up here, but that's not really like my critical point to where it's, again, that's just the movement duelist just trying to gather up the space and just allow your second entry to really do that. Hence why I was kind of leaning into Slow there, especially with, you know, I would say Phoenix being one of their like stronger, more comfortable picks. And this was all plenty before Phoenix became, you know, predominant meta as we currently see it. So you really kind of have to like hope to see it's like, okay, surely you can make something work. And I mean, hell, yeah, I'm in medal ranks, but I can hard fucking carry on Phoenix without even having to break a sweat. Surely I can expect the same from Slow already. I really want to see it. I want to see a masterclass here. But I mean, hey, if either Phoenix want to bring out a masterclass, I'm down to see it on either side. Whether it's slow, whether it's Micaiah, I want to see some cool ass gameplay.
Cool ass gameplay would be great. I would love to see it from TL so we can send it to a map 3, but either way, we get ready to head into this ascent. TL starting on the attack, grouping up towards A and leaving H over alone to bait out some util on B. Or maybe just hold the space. Does spot Art on Cat.
Yeah, but just shoots out the cam immediately, but I mean, you obviously don't know that's just going to be like a 4-1 essentially coming into this. You do have some help immediately, but a really poor timing, not expecting multiple people there, and now it's just up to Makai just trying to anchor on through, just buy time for the rotations to come through along with claps.
Heading up into window, K-Spar's not expecting them all to be in Garden. Ender gets the trade. This is a great start for TL so far.
But you still have to drop out Caleb, which I mean, that was already like the scan used, but it still bought so much time. And I mean, you also see the answer there. Went all the way up from Clap or from H and is able to find claps there. And they can just immediately pivot on through.
Yeah, H really finding value from the lurk, hearing the rotates running away, and now super deep into their spawn, gonna be able to give any early info if Micaiah's there, but instead Ender should be the one to hear him.
Yeah, especially with all the sound bites heard, it was pretty much just, whoever got the kill first, and well...
Yoink!
It did end up having to be H there. Triple kill there in the pistol here.
Really great to see TL getting off to a hot start here. Even better sign for me to see that H is just into this map and shooting. He was having a real rough one on Sunset. You would expect him to be the top performer for TL, and the fact that he's able to pick up a 3K on pistol is a great sign that TL are ready to fight on their map pick.
Not only picking up a 3K on the pistol, what is Blood doing with the Odin himself? H with the Odin, you know what? I'm willing to be proven otherwise. I really am.
As long as he doesn't give it away here.
You know, that's probably why you had the Odin to cover for the push out, actually. I mean, luckily only one goes down, but honestly, a decent plan, at least on the side of C9.
Loses out to the classic.
Yeah, Ender going down there is not ideal, but again, like, you're still finding all the extremity kills from H. Again, with the Odin.
I mean, Ender drops a stinger, but not the end of the world. Not a great retake weapon here.
No,
should
the least
be
of
able
the
to clean this up for TL, although Claps, or Art rather, never mind, looked like he might have been going for that flank, but chooses to just group up in tree instead.
I mean, ideally, at this point, they're just trying to get out guns, which, I mean, they have a band, they have a stinger. The Flash is able to bait out the Paranoia, but that's pretty much like all the util out from the entry side, and a little whiffy on the side of it. Able to drop one player, but that's still just on the case bars, having to make miracles happen with 3. Ideally, you get one, but now they're just really.
This is a die to spike angle here.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's more that's like, oh yeah, it would have been nice if you get like one more, but they just were not willing to give it.
TL make it out of the round with an outlaw Odin Inspector. Do lose the Bulldog unless slow.
No,
nope.
They don't get that.
Not able to recover it. Overall, though, solid anti-eco. Not spotless, but this should set them up for a decent attack half.
Yeah, I think especially because, again, like those extremity kills that you really had from H being the one to pull out the Odin, which definitely a rather unorthodox pivot, just trying to cause a wrench on the side of C9, and it managed to really work out. They really weren't able to get into any position to really do any damage. Now at least on the bonus, and with an Odin of their own, hell, you've even got the glass up round 3 if you're Art. Definitely trying to make something work out here if they can.
We'll be stacking up the orbs on the Phoenix. Alt slow ready. 1-0 so far, so really not very far towards that, even into round 3, but see how that progresses as the half goes on. Micaiah not spotted out behind Jen by the drone, but it appears to be an A-split coming out here for TL.
Yeah, I mean, they know that somebody is here. They heard the soundbite, even if you weren't able to see it on the drone, and I mean, you pretty much have to dance around the smoke, just try and stay alive as long as you can, and that's your support down. Class going down, and now you're gone as well. Gonna be a really awkward retake for them here, especially with the fact that they have the Odin and the op into this. Not really great, especially at least for the op. I don't know if this is necessarily a save angle, but a great dart and a spray down from A to at least equalize something here. But I still feel like this retake's going to be super awkward if they try to commit for this. I mean, if you want to do the exact same thing too, be my guess, but yeah, never mind. Odin being sprayed through, Iggy's got the number for that, and actually, yeah, that's the pivot where they finally just realized, okay, we gotta do it now. But that's it, I'm going down too. Both are one-shottable here. And they're not willing to let him get away with this.
A little rookie from Caleb, but Linus does clean it up in the end.
Oh,
they
what a
able to
crazy
recover the
double
Odin as well. This is the perfect start for TL. This is exactly what they need to bounce back from that sunset.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have all of those, like, you invest so heavily into those guns to make something work for that bonus. But the positioning with those guns just did not end up mattering. You just had 2 riflers die on A, leaving it up to the Odin and the up to try and retake. And I mean, well, one of those clearly managed for at least a little bit, but the other... not quite. And losing all those guns especially, rather quite a blunder, but at least it's only round 3. You can still pivot off this.
And look like they're going for a bit of mid-aggression. Do find 1, find 2 in fact.
Yeah, literally the pivot that I was alluding to.
Round.
Yeah, just managing to do something here. They don't really have much positioning aside from that. I mean, you send a dart to maybe flush a Makai. Okay, it does scan out, yeah. But they're still just trying to find all this position, really, and... okay, that's actually a crazy pick. They're actually the outlaw able to peek out on Art there. Barely inching out, throwing the flash there.
That's an interesting call. Not sure why exactly, Caleb. They're investing, in fact, 2 ults into this. I'm not sure if they didn't realize it was an eco round, although I'm not sure how they would have. Slow gets to pick onto K-Spars and they run into the A site now. I mean, you can't be too mad about it at the end of the day as long as they don't lose a 1v3 with the Stinger, but that's a heavy investment into an anti-eco.
Yeah, I mean, like, you had the immediate flip-off with the 2 ults, but then it's like, okay, you had the 2 picks, then you bother to invest the 2 ults. They're probably just trying to snowball for more, but it's like, is it worth it? Well, maybe. Just to maybe have it not spiral out of control, and regardless, that's still a 4th in the Browns.
They win the round, but I'm really not sure why that happened. Like, the Caleb ult, I thought, honestly, could have been a fat finger, but then H commits the ult as well. Really not wanting to drop that round, I guess.
No, definitely not. Like, they don't want to give them an inch, especially with how bad the snowball is so far. I mean, yeah, they're bringing out all the stops they really can for this round to stop the bleeding if they can even manage to do so. But yeah, I mean, sure, overinvestment you might consider, but I mean, they're still leading in the ult economy, I would say, it's so far. I mean, you've got to run it back ready. 2 away from a convergent pass. Can maybe make a pop work, but you got to be fast about it because of the double wrap.
Out of this A site.
Yeah, it's pretty much Art having to hold out from the front and
gets the pick onto H.
Is it someone get killed before going down? That is vile. You should not be letting the second one happen there. That is crazy. It would have been all advice util. 2 actually through pass with all 3, I think. Wait, are they all past the wall? I could not tell from the angle. That was such an odd wall. I could not tell.
They're past the wall, but not wanting to move because of the thorns.
Yeah, I mean, it stops them so much to release. Have a double wrap on the flank, but all 3 committed into the site. Not gonna know about it quite yet, but yeah, you pretty much have to do something to try and stop this flood from happening immediately, and that's where the right back comes in. But the double flank is able to help out. Not even that they're the kill, but even still trying to get whatever chunks of damage you can.
One enemy remaining.
A right back of their own, but it did not matter. Iggy managing to get 3 kills in this round. Tactically a 4th if you really want to call the run it back part, but even still, people just pressured it out completely, and yeah, a reasonable I cannot speak. My point is, a reasonable reaction on the side of the attack for Slow to pop it out, but Iggy was just able to handle it.
Now imagine for a second, if you will, if they had, say, a Sova ult in that round. Maybe they use a drone to push Art off of that line and B main, get the tag onto him with the drone, and then, say, use the reveal through the wall to shoot him with your massive laser thing. That could have been very good, honestly, but
I do
As it
agree.
is, they group up for an A hit, leaving H alone to die to Art.
We got ones like
Trades
10.
do actually go even, though.
Yeah,
And if
they
they
go in
go
their
now,
favor.
this is a free A site.
Yeah, and I mean, they're kind of slowed off, especially because, I mean, like, K-Sparks doesn't really have a gun in this. It's, again, another scenario where they're having to retake as 3 with an Odin and an Op again. You don't even have a rifle, for crying out loud. I mean, that's a Hunter's rifle just trying to tag it off. You at least get the one tag into Linus, but now it's just dried out, and you're actually able to get the kill into Linus.
What a prediction.
Insane prediction indeed, and that's just buying them enough time to kind of just reposition off, but you have to invest a conversion pass into this as well.
Slow already got caught by that.
Yeah, catching your Phoenix out in. Okay, that's a little ill-fated. Spots out both, but yeah, you kind of need to get that one there. Iggy with a dart, though, and a shock. Willing to invest some knives into this as well. Full spotted not by the scan, but trying to make something. Whoa! That is a crazy reposition off the recall. But you know that they're how you usually see them out. Right click in with the dash and able to make work. Arts. The heroics to make that one work out. You know what? He was able to re-attack with an op. Actually, no, he didn't. No, he didn't get one with it. It was the Jet Knives into the Classic. You know what? Master of Arms managing to make it work, getting a second.
We just got an IRL desk stand from Ender there.
Amazing.
Dude, I need these fucking wait, IRL desk scan. Why is he trying to lie so many lost? Wait.
Literally, like, next time, or like sometime in the future, I just need to record my Spectra window just so I can scale that shit.
You actually need to for these reactions. That would actually be so crazy. Either way, though, at least someone is catching these reactions because, I mean, think about it. They really need this map. They really need this win here. Really, if you're TL, and I can understand the frustration with just these rounds slipping away from them. Yeah, they're still holding the lead, but just as easily as it slipped away from them on Sunset, it could just do the exact same amount of ends.
Giving the perfect bait for Claps there, playing in that one angle, and TL really just kind of, I think they're tilted. I would honestly love to see a timeout after this round. They have the util to clear these op lines, but they're not using it. They're just dry peeking into these long angles that you know Art can be holding.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're kind of, yeah, they're playing their hand a little bit. I mean, that's just Claps going down very recklessly, honestly, but it is something I do agree with that the tilt will sudden. Yeah. But it's like, I do agree with the notion that it's like, yeah, the tilt is probably starting to onset into them, even with the lead still. Spotted out some, but now to get the shot off if you're Art, but you're still going to re-aggress into this as long as you can get something before death. What I meant with that, but just getting the one with the shorty. How the hell is Art still alive? That is criminal.
Makai's still here in A main.
Yeah, all that attention really from Claps able to reposition back into main. I don't think they're going to necessarily
expect have an idea that it's possible, but they have so much else to worry about.
That's probably why he hadn't planted yet, and I mean, that still just gave them a chance to just flood on through. And that's a third round. I can't remember if it's in a row, but a third round nonetheless here for C9. Yeah, and as you called, they kind of need to do this for a timeout. Yeah.
This is timeout.
Follow me with this for a moment, like Fuzzy. I feel like this is just my read. When it comes to H's teams, I feel like one of the things they really kind of struggle with is really, as you were kind of saying, the tilt kind of setting in. I feel like they can get kind of complacent. They have the idea to where it's like, okay, we need to get out of the current rut that we're in emotionally and mentally. But that's one of the things I think they really end up struggling with, and you might see it happen still over the course of this map, but I mean, with such an early timeout called, hopefully you're able to make some amount of recovery.
This is something I've actually heard the TL players talk about, is that the fact that Tanz was banished to India forever, actually not forever, he'll be back hopefully soon.
I forgot about that.
Was a big hit for their team as a whole. One, because it threw their roles into confusion, but they've described Tanz as really that sort of even mental player who's able to keep the rest of the tilters in check if necessary. And they've said that that's something that they've really missed as a team with him gone. Obviously, if they are to lose this game, not out of it completely, and they'll hope that he'll be back in time for a playoffs run for them. But that is something that they've mentioned, is that that's a big piece of their team that's missing in terms of the vibes.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of like what I'm trying to build up to. it's not even just a Season 3 issue. That's just been a thing for H's teams, even last season on Season 2. For the previous TS,
Sorry,
not
art
Slug
isn't
Show.
tiles.
Walked all the way up to... I don't even... Yeah, that cam is not going to spawn out at all. What is his position? I mean, are you going to expect Caleb? Now you definitely do. You're definitely guaranteed dead, but the fact that art didn't show at all is a little funny. Really
Linus,
goofy bait out of the wall there,
but
it's just Linus, though.
it's Ender now too. Spots Micaiah.
Yeah, but it's
Does a bit of damage, but
Yeah, it's just a panic dasher, really, and... Okay, you are able to find it, but that's a steel garden popped out here. Only person with a gun left here is pretty much just on the slow, trying to hold them off.
gonna be a lot of pressure onto him.
But they need to go faster. They want to take advantage of the steel garden. I don't know if they're going to do so necessarily. Spotting out the one on Ender, but now they have their guns back. Still not able to rack the time, luckily. And that's a clean retake from the 3.
Yeah, I was a
Honestly,
little
he's
worried
got
that Case Bars might have ripped that steel garden a bit early, but as it turns out, it was at the perfect time. The trade's not there for TL, and nothing to come of that timeout for them either.
Yeah, like they had it back in time, but it just didn't seem like they were ready for it. At least like mentally ready for it. It just felt like they were still trying to get themselves assimilated into their positions with their guns back, but because that one extra bit of hesitation is left for them to flood on through and take advantage of it.
Well, and I mean, the other thing we're seeing from that round is C9 are starting to feel that they have the momentum now. I mean, Art just walked with an op into tiles with no one else. Like, huh?
Yeah, honestly, that's coming down, honestly, partly due to, one, nobody really taking out tiles, but two, they're getting complacent with this one cam that H is using that doesn't even clear out the walkout, for crying out loud.
He is
Definitely not, no.
With a shorty.
Do they even expect to close?
The dart
I don't know,
did
especially with
not
that
clear him.
dart.
He is still here. Observers, what are we doing? Thank you.
Tony, how could you? But that is a Zix moment, I think, or was that Andrews with the whole smoke thing? Really bad position there, but okay, you're at least able to get the trading for claps out. Not willing to at least invest the picking up quite yet, but necessarily do need to, because especially because the health would just go away. But I mean, you look at the ult advantage here. If you can get at least one more picker on the side of the attack here, you can possibly string something together with the ults that you have left here. But I don't think they're going to necessarily expect claps in this committed position here. Body is slowly rotating over. Barely peek out, but my God, jumping the gun there at least a little bit. Pretty much is down to claps, making something work, and that's at least one of them to pick me up. It's right up for the second. No access to the site clearly. That's an E-Mage team, right? But the last second island TP, not expecting Caleb with the op just to come behind if you're Micaiah. But K-Sports is basically there already. But you can't do anything with that TP there. Now Caleb has to dash for it too. Half doesn't pop the sword until later. So much damage to the Thorns, 25 HP. If that was popped like a second earlier, he would have died. But death was inevitable, especially with the not dead yet popped. And that's
Valiant
C9 taking advantage.
Caleb, but...
I reckon I'll take a kip after this. I've earned it.
I mean, I think you're kind of like okay with that, especially because again, like they have been able to string together the past at least guaranteed 4 rounds. I can't remember the entire round history, but they've strung together that 5 rounds. Thank you, Ian. They've strung together the past 5 rounds, have stabilized their economy. They're fine with those deaths. They pretty much have all the momentum going for them aside from the ult economy.
Here's the thing. Usually on Ascent attack, you'd be content with 4 rounds. It's just the way that it's happened. They win the first 4 and then lose 5 in a row has to be so tilting for TL.
Most definitely, most certainly. And I mean, trying to disrespect the Vice Thorns, trying to get out of that is definitely a little worse for wear, but clearly it doesn't matter because the kills are going in favor of TL.
Claps though,
Claps having a smoke dance to make this work out, and the flick for slow to at least take him out before getting one, possibly even more. And now it's just up to Micaiah to 1v4 trying to make something happen. Not necessarily spotted out quite yet, but I don't know if you're necessarily going to expect a late wrap here.
Oh no!
Not ready, but you still managed to get the kill. 20 HP and a flash. How do you expect to get all 3 here, if possible? Flash combat, that's only revealing
this
one
should be unlosable for TL here.
You saw a kill set for a moment, but yeah, I think you're willing to at least concede and just clearly, I guess, just go for the exit at this point. Yeah.
Look at the money. It's not good for TL.
No, definitely not. And I mean, even a death is still fine here because you're going to have to run it back going into this next round, but any kills would definitely help too. Especially with that econ, actually. Yeah, taking out the one gun is definitely fine.
I think he could have lived in that corner, but
Probably
maybe not.
Could have, but
no, I think it was planted on the box. I think he actually dies there. But
even still,
anyways,
I think they're fine with
even going down there, that's still a round you don't mind as C9. The economy for TL is still on a razor's edge here. Although with that round, actually, Claps and Micaiah both buying down all the way. And if TL are able to win this round, that could be 7 for them also. Also interested to see how they use this Sova ult.
I don't know if you're going to expect this posted op, and yeah, no, you don't at all. Expecting them to not have an op in return. And Neurotheft popped in return, but trying to make some chaos work out. That's Makai getting the trade, at least on Ender, on the opposite side of the map. But that's Makai actually investing the running back as well, just trying to see what you can find out here. Isn't able to get down the opposing Phoenix, though.
No, but
Ace actually going down the opposite side of the map. I guess missed the shot on the key sports before going down, but I don't know if these trades work out. I don't know, especially with that here. Oh, no, this is going to get a little dicey. Is able to get the one. Not the second not slow, especially with it going behind.
It's not over just yet, but this round means so much for the last round of the half as well.
Yeah, for both these teams equally, and I feel like they're having to make so much dry contact work out through here. Just trying to make something happen. The rat from Caleb, instead of just trying to find something out with the scan, just trying to make something
Igneous
happen.
Ready for it? He's holding his gun out, takes his knife out
Not
at
at
just
all.
the wrong time.
But you didn't know you were running into Claps!
30 seconds left.
Yeah.
And that was a
30
mad
seconds.
dash from Slow! Do you even make it to the B side in 30 seconds, let alone? Like, what are you expecting here out of Claps? But it's more like, what are you expecting out of Claps? What's the timing going to look like here? And you're taking the prime position!
Well, you
Does
know where
miss,
it is
but
now.
at least spots it out. Yeah, but now you pretty much just have to go for it. But I think it's well on Slow to kind of make this work out.
Spike planted.
Wow, the wide swing from Slow wins out in the end. You would think Claps would be go for it.
Round in the half.
Good for it, but now take a look at this. K-Spars and Micaiah both really not doing well financially. Art does have the knives here to work with, so able to buy for one of his teammates, but this isn't a pretty buy here for C9.
No, definitely not. And I mean, that's such like a pivotal round you're really losing there. I vaguely want to call a yellow card on Class for, I guess, trying to take the timing, but you had all the time in the world to work with on the retake there with full util. I'm just like, I get it though. I really do, but now you really don't want to make this a 7 for the defense. But a trade there? Oh, especially with that blind actually being so crazy to get Class on the side. They can't do anything to press the advantage. And now just second of 4v2, trying to make something work out here. K-Sports wants to find a shot here, but
they just killed 3 players in A main. They should know that they have a free A site. H does whiff the op shot, but really doesn't matter. He keeps his own life. K-Spar is walking down mid now, but this is going to be a tough retake for C9, and a 7-5 half attack on Ascent is really...
One enemy remaining.
You should
not what
be
you wanna
really
see.
happy with that.
almost definitely. And I mean, it's honestly unfortunate with the death there from K-Spars. Just that's all the pressure gone from the person on the flank and making it so that he just had no chance to try and make a comeback there, a clutch possible. And yeah, as you're saying, like, that's going to just spiral into the 7-5 half with TL going into the defense up with the advantage.
It's a weird one. It's a streaky one, but eventually favoring TL, and Ascent, as we know, is historically a defense-sided map. So TL really setting themselves up for success in this map. C9, though, looking to go for what looks like a 5-man fast A hit, although we'll see.
I mean, if you can really press the aggression here, this is kind of what you at least want to see with the battering ram, at least out of Ard and Mackay, if you can string things together, let Claps clean up, you can potentially steamroll from this pistol if they can manage their cards right.
They're so far
Just
ahead
complete-
of this one-way in A main.
Yeah, just completely dashing out through. They're just disrespecting all the Yucho, but Mackay still goes down first.
Ender gets the spam through the smoke, yeah.
And all 5 on the defense are already here, Fuzzy. This is going to be such a weird retake here. I don't know how they're going to stop this aggression from the defense flying through. Not fighting much with those shocks, but they're just willing to flood out soon, especially with no smoke there. The cage actually letting them flood on through, bleed on through. Cloud trying to find everything you can with this frenzy, but how do we get away? Packing with all the ghost shots here, Iggy in a 1v2 trying to manage the clutch things up here.
Bullets reloading.
Yeah,
Unable to
reloading just
reload
getting
in time.
pushed on. Yeah, that's so rather unfortunate, really. I think because they invested so much into really just flooding them outside of the site, it kind of just allowed for the defense to really just flood back in. Especially with that smoke, or technically the cage just bleeding out so that they can push out. Even if they had a smoke available on Clown9, they're just able to go on through and just completely run them over.
Yeah, it was a solid retake from TL. The spam kill early from Ender was huge, but honestly, they just reading that C9 are going to be going for some fast hits. They hear noise, they run to the site, and they're ready to flood his 5. C9, though, getting that plant money and going for the G2 Stinger Force.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems they want to try something vaguely familiar to them. Literally what they did in the last round, but obviously not as aggressive, but the defense still prepared. They're still 4 stacked in here.
4 stacked in
Right
here,
into
but
Linus'
will they
spray. You are
expect
so
force?
glad to not be dead here, but everyone's still just stuck behind. Are completely on an island, just goes down. The tags even.
The paranoia from Linus there was huge, making it so it was impossible to flood out from the smoke with Art's entry.
It was just one person in the site. Everyone else was still outside, and sure, bot rotates off, but okay, there's their second pivot. They just decide to refight and just get away from that.
Linus able to
Take out one, but
evacuate,
Keith
though.
goes down. Cloud's trying to make something happen, just trying to get some sort of advantage, but you're just not expecting it from the push-up and the spike. And they just get pounced on completely. As much as I like that second bit of re-aggression after the freeze, it's still the same issue that happened in the pistol, to where they were just able to flood on in. They invested so much into just getting in the site, they had nothing to stop them.
I mean, that round really came down to Linus's positioning behind Dice there, and having that paranoia. Perfect timing. Here's Art going for the entry and uses it to make sure that Art is the only one able to get into the site. The rest of them stuck behind that smoke, fully blinded up, and Art just dies for free, unable to for the rest of his team to capitalize off of the space that he's tried to create. With that loss of their force, it's going to be another weird buy for C9. Stinger, 3 sheriffs, and an outlaw on Claps.
Yeah, you really want these heroic plays to really work out here for you, and at least in the case of Claps, if you're able to get one of the 3 not on full armor, that would be so beneficial, but that's not the only outlaw on the board here. Slow with their own, still not quite up on a run it back, but I mean, if you could farm some Ecos, that would help, but
Caleb's just walked out B.
I forgot there was a second outlaw on the defense. You know what? I understand. But the Stinger getting an advantage here to at least take out 2. But it's such a ton of Claps in a 1v3, and it's all for naught.
Yeah,
Some
I mean,
reasonable-ish damage, and I mean, you look at Ignis, that is at least bare minimum 100 Fury going into this next round here.
yeah, I mean, a really bold timing there from Caleb, taken up 20-9 right now, really carrying the momentum that he had from the first map. Just walks out B main with the Outlaw, finds 2, just not expecting the Sova to solo walk out B, because that's weird. Both Sovas, though, now up on their Hunter's Fury, and we'll see if either of them are able to put them to use in this round.
A pairing Odin, too, but for crying out loud, there's another one up there, and yeah, wait, actually, was it both the Outlaw and the Op on the same angle? I think it was, and that's what led to the death being had there on tiles.
I don't know, but I mean, TL now really getting into it. Have the Outlaw, an Op, Phantom, and 2 Odins.
Yeah, this, I don't even know what to call this. Like, this isn't a tier 1 buy whatsoever. I can't even try and give any inkling as to who they're mimicking as a team.
The word in the dictionary you're looking for is cringe.
Cringe. Well,
Cage triggered.
Brock is only a 1 guy, and they don't need much else beyond that. This just feels like Timmy Insanity, I guess.
I'd like to be clear, I'm not criticizing it. I love it.
No, I
This is
know.
what they need to win. If Caleb gets a 4K with the Odin, I am all for it. I'm just saying, I would not be having fun playing into this.
Definitely not. No, and I don't think they're having fun on that attack so far. I mean, that's the past 4 rounds strung together for the defense. Fuzzy, just ignore the game, ignore your comms, ignore your color. Look at the history on our feed here, production feed. Look at how streaky that has been. First 4 rounds for the attack on TL.
5, 6, so actually...
6, 7! Thank you. But it is actually 7 rounds in a row for TL. After the 5 that came through on the attack.
I can't count, actually, is the issue that happened.
You heard it here first, folks. Fuzzy cannot count. And
Hey, fine but Ender opping in tree, though. Linus, though, clapping back with the...
a great first pick, but they're still just wanting to regress in this. Or to get on another island and just spray it out! Like, you keep trying to get all these advantages and at least these man advantages, but it's just falling apart from you completely. That's a tag onto Iggy! Not dead yet, but at least Claps is also going to find out slow. And dude, what is up with these like heavy gun sprays? Nearly spraying into H, doesn't go for a pick, but could have spotted something. Oh my god.
Deficient.
But they're finding all the individual picks that you at least need, and now the only people alive in this round for the defense are the Odin players. And that's a spike down revealed.
Mid. I got the spike.
But they still have to play isolated from each other. They can't really help each other. I mean, if Caleb is at least able to find the 2 here,
Player standing.
getting at least 1, but it's still a 2v1 pivot, and yeah, you just have to go away from H's sight there.
30 seconds left.
Key bit of information there too, at least tripping the wall, but their ping is going for mid. Obviously, it's not going to matter considering it's just a spawn hold for now, but yeah, a 2v1 that can honestly still go either way, and Claps is ready for the peek out. And it's able to get 3 total. I don't think it was 3 with the op, I'm pretty sure, but even still, the fact that they're making this work out, okay, you've stopped some bleeding so far, you can make something. It's a timeout called after losing 1 round of the defense. You know what? Understandable.
I don't hate it. I
don't
like
either.
To see the, C9 start to get the tiniest bit of momentum. Let's squash it instantly. We don't have any ults here, but we're getting close to a couple. What is our plan here? What ults do they have? We see Igneous still on this Hunter's Fury, Claps with the not dead yet, Micaiah with the run it back. All right, they're probably going to do a fast hit into something with the Phoenix ult, maybe play Sova ult post plant. How are we going to play against this? Is what I think Flavicon would be talking about with TL in this timeout.
Yeah, or at least just given the chance for at least H to kind of give some sort of game plan going to really stop them out completely. It's like you called, they have 3 ults ready. They essentially have almost all 5 ults ready, 2 points away from the knives and the steel garden going into this. And yeah, it's still rather shaky on the side of Clown9 with their economy. If you can manage to stop this round out, that would be pivotal. And I feel like the one thing I was really trying to point out, or at least wanting to paint the picture of going into that last round, was Micaiah on the Phoenix hasn't really been able to find the impact they've needed to so far, and I feel like that round at least was the start of something to where at least you're able to get that first pick really. Even if not much going out beyond that, it's still just having the impact that you at least need to have on the Phoenix still kind of needs to be had here. And if you can manage to come back through here, I think it's going to have to be off the back of managing some sort of entry position for that.
Art here on just the Sheriff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably an okay concede, especially with all the guns they also have. But again, who knows? You might just get a 2K with the Sheriff and just pop knives.
The read here for TL is fast B hit. They're just going to play full retake on this site. But the question is, will C9 actually invest their ults in this site take, or will they see the lack of resistance and just walk into site and have those ults for post plant?
I mean, considering they're at least putting the drone in the smoke here, there should be at least enough to kind of realize, okay, where's this Odin player? Where's this Cypher Uchill? What's going on with these here? Armor spot out! You don't even get the scan off, and you're still gonna spray down case bars.
That's a big first pick.
Big first pick, but they
three
haven't
ults
fully
online,
invested in the
though.
site.
Why destroyed?
I was gonna say they're in a
though.
position to actually fight, but not when you have a double Odin face. Able to
needs
drop
to
one of them, at
straight
least
back.
Iggy. Yeah, especially with their own. And hey, if you can't do it with the double Odin, bring out your own. But that's Arc going down now. At least a market player traded up with the
30
op, but
seconds
a
Gets
second
two.
op peek out, and that's the other Odin down.
It's on to Plat,
Still
so
just
on
on the Plat.
such low HP with just the op.
Has at least a not dead yet, which I don't even know would work in this exact scenario, but with no time, yeah, this might just be an over
10
round.
seconds left.
The tough one to recover so close on that shot.
Oh, take a perspective with no
No time,
bullets.
no
He
time,
pretty much got
don't
blown no time.
One peek, guys. Right? You got the op.
No.
Try to wallbang him. Grab an Odin.
A bit whiffy, but able. Lions able to get it. I think they honestly just kind of didn't want to spiral of control and lose a lot of their economy momentum, because I mean, look at it right now. Like, if they can somehow string together this round on C9, I mean, you're gonna you're gonna at least not have 3 great Brides in the next round, if anything. The problem is they're now on match points. But I mean, you at least have.
You have 4
Cloud9
ults
sitting with
online
all
here
fi-
for C9.
They basically have all 5. Case Force just needs to grab this orb, which should almost happen certainly.
one ult.
Oh, yeah, no, not how we're counting it out. Every ult that gets used in this round, we're gonna go, count chocolate. I don't even, yeah, the count, whatever.
Count. He's literally just the count.
I know, I'm just, dude, I don't know ball, okay? It has been like eons since I've watched
How
Sesame
does
Street.
Sesame
Go
Street know?
figure.
Come on, man.
Dude, I was watching that shit when I was 4. I'm past 24.
Dude, you're missing out.
Clearly I am. Yeah, when's Zora and Mom Donnie gonna make a cameo?
Revealing area.
Okay, but that would be heat, though. It would be heat.
Well, we'll see if PBS has any funding by the end of this administration. Anyways, Case Bars dies on the A site. Meanwhile, the rest of C9, 2 ults are running into the B site.
Another kill. Iggy almost getting sprayed out. The double facing there. Cuz has to use the not dead yet. Has to.
4 ults. This is a big one,
5
actually. He gets it
odds.
on Linus.
Last player
Fully blinded up completely. Oh my god. That round was just going to be so scrappy no matter what, that we just had to keep up with the count bit.
That was... I mean, we didn't, but I thought it was funny. It was a bit unserious
was.
from
No,
us.
it was
but
funny.
anyways, TL bounced back 13-6 on their own map pick, really showing what they've got as a team when they come in with a plan. I was afraid that they might just roll over after that comeback that C9 had on Sunset, but really glad to see them stick it out, and we will be going to map 3 of... Check
Haven, I'm
notes.
pretty sure.
Haven.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bye.
number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
It's like I'm calling nothing. Scream to the void and it gives me a tone. A silent voice coming out of the speaker. Just stay awake, it won't take long. It's like I'm calling nothing. Scream to the void and it gives me a tone. A silent voice coming out of the speaker. Just stay awake.
Well, we've got quite the heater on our hands. Ready to end the series off on Haven, which I've been trying to do at least some quick research into this. Both of them have like some losses and wins. The only constant being they've both definitely lost to T1 and gotten wins off of Cal Palo. The only information you can get is you'll probably see some similar comps going into this. But at least like talking about Ascent, it's like I feel like in a way, I feel like everyone on TL really kind of understood what they needed to do on that map, really. Like, sure, you don't have Linus really getting many kills, but the impact that he had in some of those rounds was absolutely pivotal. And your first Bloods leader, believe it or not, was actually Ender with 5. Managing out to at least like open those things up and just let everyone else to kind of just roll on through. It just felt like they had everything drilled out, especially on the defense.
Ender and H both stepped it up a lot from map 1, which is really what I needed to see from them. And Caleb, oh my god, this guy is just on fire this match so far. I hope he gets to carry it through to map 3, but saw that 27 and a number that I forget. But 27 in, 19 rounds, that is quite
27
solid.
And 11.
He
had, you want to know how many assists he had in that one? It's 4. Not going to be as high as you thought. Yeah, 4. 4. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's like, but yeah, no, it's, you're really seeing the impressiveness and in a way. You want to know what I'm going to pin it down to here, Fuzzy? I'm going to pin it down to the ex-EMEA buff. Because it's been a hot minute since Caleb has had a chance to play an official with Pookie Linus. Surely that's the vibes there. See, Linus is the vibes for Caleb to do well. That's what it is. Yeah, I figured it out. But on the flip side, it's not all done quite yet because Clown9 have a lifeline. They have their map 3 coach has come back in. We've got the Twan buff in.
Yeah, I mean, this is another one where this is going to be another Claps Clove map. At least that's what I would expect. And
yes.
He will be comfortable. He will be walking around the map, and he will be shooting people. It is just, will it be enough for them to get over it?
Yeah, because I mean, like, it's kind of like I was alluding to when I was opening things up, where I'm looking at the composition that they were playing each time that they were playing Haven, and it's like, the only thing that was different was just maybe just like a role swap up, really. I saw like H in there like once or twice on the Jet. They were the ones playing a Vice actually instead, and C9 were the ones playing a Cypher, which clearly didn't happen last map. But it's like, even still, I'm curious to see how these two adapt, because it has still been quite some time since either of these teams have played Haven. At least it's been a month for TL. They last played this at the beginning of July. Clown9, I actually did not pay attention to. I'm sorry. I'm LARPing again. But at least it should set up an amount of context going into this Haven to where it's like, okay, we haven't seen them on it for a little bit of a hot minute. The comp should still feel somewhat familiar considering what we've seen so far in the series. It's just a matter of, hey, who's going to show up? Is the impact from Twan going to be felt on the side of C9? Is Caleb just going to go on a heater for the 3rd map in a row? A All that and more to be found out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, which should go live in whenever these guys want to ready up.
Looks like we're just getting the final ready checks from both of these teams. I'm interested, though, to see if either of these teams are going to be more comfortable on the attack half of this map. You know, 3-site map, you would think that historically 3-site maps, often the attack is a bit favored because you can, those rotates are so long for the defense, you can group up and hit a site and be fairly confident that it won't be stacked. But I'm just interested to see how that plays out, since both teams so far seem to have been much more comfortable on their defense side.
Yeah, which, I mean, like, Haven is a completely different ballpark from that. You have the 3-site maps where it just feels like it's on the onus of usually, like, the C player having to basically essentially solo hold or just stall what you can before dying. Otherwise, you just get steamrolled, and wow, this is tough. That's just kind of the nature of this, honestly, both of the 3-site maps, but especially Haven, just considering this. I mean, the obvious anecdote being, yeah, I've had enough Sentinel experience on this map. Haven C sucks to try and solo hold, especially if you don't really have the grasp of it. And I mean, it's like you were saying, both of these teams have had their success so far on the defense, so you like to hope something gets whipped out here. No, please. No, there is no way. The fucking K-Spar's Neon Hover is actually getting me. It's not gonna happen. That lock is not happening, but oh my god.
I don't know why you're still
I don't care, I'm getting the neuron activation from it, okay? It was the first thing that got hovered. How am I supposed to stop? But no, like, you're pretty much seeing exactly what I was thinking about. I mean, if Ender wants to hover the Waylay, that's actually going to be interesting because, at least from what I saw, in the previous TL games, that was not an option they had out. They weren't going with the Neon entry, but, well, I wasn't paying attention much to BBL this split.
BBL? What the hell are we talking about?
They were the ones who were pulling out the Waylay on Haven, no? Or was that a different Turkish team? Was it Foot?
It's Foot.
It was Foot? Okay. I knew that there was someone whipping it out. Obviously, clearly, you're not watching, Foot VODs for that. It's just, the comfort in seeing how it sort of goes. I think they're just going with what comfortability they do have. The only swap up really being actually H and Slow swapping up the roles. It's going to be Slow going back to the Senti and H taking the role of the duelist this time.
I mean, I don't hate this. Slow looked actually really solid on the Cypher on map 1, and H is supposed to be your fragging player. Putting him on the Phoenix conceptually makes a ton of sense. It's just, we'll see whether it actually plays out for TL.
Yeah, and I mean, you had that first map on the Sage, the second map on the Cypher, where it wasn't really the Cypher that was getting the frags itself, it was more so just the gunplay, the mechanics that H has, so... Well, now you're on Phoenix. Surely that should be enough to swing momentum, but it's like on the flip side, really, with Cloud9. The last thing... Oh yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's pretty much like the same comp that they have been consistently, like, running more or less, honestly, in their times that they have played Haven in Season 3 so far.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at it, it's actually almost identical to their Ascent comp, just having K-Spars on the Cypher as opposed to the Vice. I do like the Cypher better than the Vice on this map, since there's so many lanes you have to keep track of. Having 2 trips instead of 1 wall is actually a really big difference maker. We'll see if he gets left with the perma C-site duty. C-jail, as I like to call it. I just made that up, but I do like to call it that now. That is usually where you'll see the Sentis play on Haven defense, trying to keep that back site and then letting the rest of your team play for the Flood. We'll see if he's in that role. Looks like that's where he's starting, although using the trips on the front side of B and in Garage, and then playing the C-site with Art.
Yeah, the thing that I feel like when it comes down to just being that C-anchor, especially for the Senti, it's like, yeah, you're the best suited for it, but it's really just down to just the composition, just like, whose job is it really supposed to be for this? You could argue nowadays it's not just onto the Sentinel, but it's also kind of onto your, like, smoke square to kind of handle it. I mean, you've been seeing players like a certain King DiGL managing to make it through with pretty decent site anchoring, even with the loss against Energy, but whatever. Point is, though, it's like, it is still very difficult to really hold it for anybody, really. So it's like, at least if you have a setup, and I mean, you kind of look at it, it's a little bit passive. So it's like, are you really expecting yourself to hold into the site if you're case bars? I wouldn't think so, and I would.
I mean, your goal as case bars isn't to hold the entire site. Their goal is to give your teammates a safe back site to flood out into, and stop sort of the rest of the attacking team from taking any further space than that back site. You're trying to keep that wall with that box.
Yeah, from the plant spot, you want them to stay in front of the box and not try and go into back site. What was the anecdote that I was seeing, or something? I don't know. I was seeing something in the fucking ProMines Discord where people were arguing about, okay, how do you hold C properly on Haven? Do you break the dart they send in, even if you're in a smoke or not, or something like that? I don't know. Crazy fucking rage bait. I don't know, but, you know, that is still a thing that people are still trying to figure out, even if it should be solved, but, you know, it's Simmy's. It do be difficult sometimes.
C9 instantly grabbing this orb up for Micaiah is going to be... Nope, they didn't. What?
No, but they're still going for a push nonetheless. I don't know, but I mean, look at this triple push up pretty much. Yeah.
They get huge info anyways. It's going to be a triple flank. They will be met with a trip here, but Case Bars and Art really just going to try to live here and then let the flank do the work.
Yeah, at least getting like a few tags in, but still not giving up life completely. And now it's just allowing for a potential flood to happen if they're not careful. I mean, the first contact clearly being the flank, and that's already the one down. Ender going down 2 to a blinded up Case Bars. And now they essentially just have to take the backside for themselves, try and foothold in here. But it's just Linus in a 1v4 to make it work out. And Classics be whiffy. Alright, valid.
Yeah,
but that's another much needed pistol.
I really love that call out of C9. Able to, you know, not much lobby pressure coming out early from TL, and the C9 just take it. You know, H was there early with the cam, but broken early. K-Spars and Art really playing that perfectly as well, not over-fighting, just wasting a bit of time so that that flank could get around playing, and then once that flank does start to create that pressure, that's when you play in from the backside and garage, and it worked out really well for them.
Yeah, I mean, Art able to hold that side completely, like just with a single trip to support, but pretty much just was able to hold in front of it, make it so, hey, you cannot come through here at all. Not like they had a plan to, but it definitely bit them in the ass, knowing that, hey, they weren't going to try. And that's the consequence of, again, no armor basically not buying, is that the Marshal will just farm you over, and especially if you can get closer and closer to that not dead yet for Claps, that's just going to be yet another win con for them, potentially.
H does have this Outlaw, which would kill Art Igneous or Micaiah, but it's going to be tough to find a good spot for it.
Yeah, especially because they're all kind of still having to flood through, but they're more or less going into this kind of dry, what it kind of feels like, at least. I mean, you've got the dart coming in through now, but you don't have a drone or anything else, so it's going to be hard. Especially when you have the Phantom on the other side just getting sprayed down, and that's a spike down as well.
Yeah, the Outlaw already dropped an unrecoverable for the rest of the team. Linus doing a little ballet move there as he dies to the Cypher, and Claps gets a free upgrade from H.
Yeah, that was honestly such a really good hold and really just great utility, just because they just had to funnel themselves in, sending 3 down short, just kind of getting sprayed down by the Phantom and the other supporting guns and util just made it so it was pretty much unattainable here for an eco to even manifest. And the flawless coming out too is also even better, honestly. I mean, sure, maybe you could have given up a death or two, but it honestly doesn't matter.
It's a bit whiffy from Claps, but Art is there to cover for him. And the economy for C9 really flourishing now. Decent bonus. Obviously, they all survive here. As I say that, they will be buying an op into this round. Who could have guessed? Art likes to op on round 3.
Slow, not able to buy a single thing. Going with heavy armor classic. I understand. The thing that I was trying to actually loot for is that I don't know if they were necessarily the ones that wanted to hunt for those final kills, because you look at Micaiah, 5 to 7 going into round 3 for the run it back. I mean, you still obviously have plenty of a chance to really get up here. And I mean, you were able to farm up the orb with the help of Igneous. That's up to, you know, the cursed numbers, but that's still a huge win con for them, especially going into this if you can get one more kill. I don't know if they're necessarily going to expect the
What are they going to use to clear
backside,
Art off here? Yeah.
No.
They will have heard that updraft, but will they expect the round 3 op? They know it's Art. Art does love to op as Claps gets the tag and hits the wallbang headshot onto Caleb.
But they reveal the op too, and it's just a leg shot onto Ender. I mean, you break the trip now, but that doesn't really do anything because Linus takes a bad timing. Kids was able to find it out, and now you're just down to a 3v5 here with not much map control, trying to make something work out here. But again, you're potentially walking into an op, which Ender whiffs barely, but you still have to make it through. But sure, you got away from one scoped weapon. There's still another. But the full HP player does tank it. They do end up taking it. But the push through towards A is actually crazy. A getting caught off guard, but Makai's still not flushed out yet, but they're just spraying him down blind!
Art's positioning, Art's positioning is still a big deal here. They're going to have to re-clear long. H ready for it and clears it with a flash. Doesn't get the kill though, and Art's going to be such a pain in their side. K-Spars gets another cleanup with the Spectre.
Yeah, has to make it pretty much do. Just has to buy time for the op to really come through, but a bad peek there leads it into a 1v2 with the op. Try to take whatever connection you can really do here, just playing a little bit of a one, but able to crossfire still, but not ready for that reposition. H able to recover this round, which whoever made the call to just death ball towards A essentially won them that round because they had no right winning it up until that point.
Yeah, I mean, Igneous not expecting them, didn't have his gun out in time to spray them down, and then Micaiah decides Igneous is a lost cause, tries to play his own life, but gets spammed down while the rest of their TL were blind, expecting him to swing off of it and just predicting the fire, gets the headshot.
Yeah, but I mean, it still technically was their bonus, so it's not all for naught, and once again, Art with these entries, it doesn't have to be at the op this time, but still being super aggressive in Garage and still able to get the ones that you really need here. Even getting even further aggressive, pushing out into a little bit of a precarious spot, but can definitely get some value out of this too.
He only has a Spectre. He's not afraid of giving anything away here. He's deep enough that he heard that TP from Linus, but not sure if he knows which direction it was going in.
I mean, the point was to avoid Art potentially having the peek out there, and I mean, it technically worked, but the guy getting peeked out there by the op that Caleb was holding itself is just, oh, that is an odd timing, a little bit ill-fated, but it's only just damage coming out onto slow, really. The side is still essentially theirs, though, for the side of TL, though. Especially with the running back that really pushed him off. I mean, you actually have Art still posted up, really trying to make a flank happen here, and that's Iggy trying so hard to take out the kill on the Omen, but how to make it work out?
Linus tagged down very low, but not spotted out on the default.
No, they just took backside completely, but it just still allowed for them to just take kills into the front side pretty much. They have to push into this front side now, but it doesn't matter now with Art on the flank in a 1v3.
Caleb putting the op to good use.
Yeah, the opposing op. You can thank Art for that one because that is, you're at least seeing the value you really got out of that one.
And this is going to force C9 down onto an eco. Clap's able to buy the Guardian, but the rest of them down onto Stingers or Sheriffs.
Yeah, which is definitely not the sign you at least want to see, especially with such a heavy overinvestment. I mean, sure, you can bring in a few Stingers and a Guardian, but I feel like you're on such like a back foot here, really. I mean, the only thing you can work out with here is the running back that you were able to farm up, and it seems like they're willing to maybe take a gambit off that, especially with the isolated aggression there. I mean, they're still taking the space on the last, and at least able to get some tags out on H.
H not expecting them to just walk through his wall, but able to get out with his life.
But they're so down to this pressure and then just back off. Yeah, that's still great pressure because they have to essentially re-clear this with so much util, and you look at that push and pull. Look at how much Igneous is pushed up into lobby. You might need to be a little bit careful here because this timing can be pivotal. Either he gets a kill or they just get the kill on him. He's able to get down the spike on H!
He's swinging for more. Wow.
Yeah,
thought
I mean,
the
it's a
pick
crouch
would've been
spray
enough.
with a stinger. I get it, but that's both your stingers down now, and that's what should have been an advantage. They kind of just throw back to the favor of the attack.
Yeah, I really think if he gets the pick and gets out, that would have been good. Claps, though, gets the pick, but is traded out by Slow. Line is teeping into the site, and it's a 2v3 retake now with just Sheriffs for C9 to work with.
I don't even know if they're necessarily even going to be able to pick up any guns there, but yeah, they really just tried to be extra greedy, really, on the side of the defense, and, well, it clearly didn't work out, especially with the eco. I feel like your buys were very important. You just kind of gave that part up. Might have been spotted barely, but they're just double facing for Micaiah pushing out. And yeah, they're just completely ready for it. Case Bar is just looking to see if you can even get an exit, but an armor rebuy is all you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, not the worst eco you'll see. Get 2 guns out of the hand. The economy kept a bit in check from the side of TL, but Twan not liking what they're seeing, calling timeout for the C9.
No, definitely not. And I mean, like, you look at some of those past 3 rounds, and I keep seeing all these, like, moments where it's like, okay, you have the advantage. Just chill for a moment. Don't overheat, give up your life, and just try to, you know, stay alive, keep your advantage. I know I'm, like, sounding like a broken record repeating myself. I quite literally am. But I'm seeing every single instance where it's like, okay, you have an advantage, especially on these ecos. You should be playing to keep it. Instead, I'm seeing half of the team over-aggressing in positions where they really don't need to, and that will carry into the buy rounds as well, because that did happen in round 4 pretty much. And,
well, and
I just have to hope that Twan is going to tell him, you know, call it off.
The op for art is such a big win condition for the side of C9, and yet no one in that past eco round saved enough in order to buy that up into this round. So, you know, that I think that's kind of a misplay by C9, honestly. Obviously, Art still very talented with the Phantom, but the op is really where he shines, and no one this round or the next round is going to be able to buy that up for him.
I feel like you kind of get lost in the sauce when it comes to really budgeting for the op, especially on, like, the defense side. Like, it should be easy, but when you've had all these rounds go back out of your favor, it makes it really difficult to kind of just keep that mind up. And as much as I do want to agree with you with the op stuff, because yes, it is true, I do honestly trust a lot of the rifling that Art has so far done in these rounds, even if it's been the 3 past rounds not going in their favor, really.
I mean, I have nothing against Art's rifling, but it just puts so much pressure on the attack to use that extra util to clear him off the angle. Meanwhile,
that is an incredible push out there.
Up, not expecting, but
only able to get the one and just a little bit of damage.
Not ready for the players to already be in garage, and the spike should be recoverable easily for C9.
But all that chaos caused is pretty much just leaving Ender on an island, and it caused them to literally trade out their running back. And again, with the aggression, they're not expecting at all. Down to a 2v3 again, with no running back to get possibly into this at all. And the desync too, with all the info on their shoulders, like, it's gonna be really difficult. Like, you want to get some advantage if you're Micaiah, if you can for now, but it's just not going your way. I say that, and Line is stuck in his smoke, gets killed by the molly.
Did not expect that to get value when I saw it got thrown, but there we are.
But the trade immediately just dropping down, and I mean, you at least have an advantage here if you're Claps. Spawn at the cam, you have a vague idea where Slow is. Going to take the fight, but not able to get the adjustment in time. Oh. It really is the same mistakes, I feel, where they kind of just overheated so much on the defense to where they kind of didn't really need to. And sure, you're almost able to bring that back with sheer heroics, but it really didn't address what I feel like was the main issue here, Fuzzy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just want to say that was a great call coming out from TL. Once Caleb dies to the player in long, they kind of go to pinch case bars through both garage and C as well. Really very little he could have done to get out of there alive.
Yeah, especially the callback, especially after that kill too, is honestly quite genius, I must admit. I mean, they're really trying to go with this mid aggression here, just trying to at least see what trades you can get out here. And I mean, you're at least able to get one before going down if you're Claps, but I mean, still over aggressive and I mean, to be fair, it is an eco. I can understand that part. it's just now you're leaving Iggy to try and 1v4 with an Odin, and maybe Case Suarez gets to kill with a Sheriff on
You
the
say
opposite
it's
side
an
of the map.
eco. Igneous is bought down to 200 here. They're just desyncing their economy again on
Yeah, I know.
hero Odin. Is here on the right site, but unless he's able to get 3, I really don't see if it's worth it.
No, I mean, they're just pausing for now to really see what's going on. And I mean, Case Suarez just kind of just trying to walk around, see if he can find anything. I'm just a little confused with this desync as well. And yeah, it really is just piling it all onto Ignis to try to make something happen here, unless the Gamut here is really just to save.
I
seemed
would
like that was-
really
yeah.
like to see Igneous trying to save that here. K-Spar's already
Yeah.
walking towards the C site. It looks like the call will be to just keep these guns. And we'll see if they're able to get that done. Looks like after this round we're going to be going into a quick tech pause, but...
Yeah, I mean, you also saw that, like, Case Suarez walked out actually with the intent to grab a gun, which, you know what? That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense there to at least do that. And yeah, they really weren't trying to press the advantage, at least for the side of TL here. I mean, they're a little bit volatile with their economy too. I mean, Caleb, if he died like twice in a row pretty much, that would have been like mood on his economy. And it's just like, okay, there is some possibility for something to be broken here, but you're just not really seeing it quite yet. I mean, that's the 5th round that they've strung together. You talk about streakiness on Ascent, and we're seeing the exact same thing here happen to Haven.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a bit of a hardware issue on one of the players. Forgot to charge their headphones before the game, and we would like all of our players to have audio. It's going to be around 5 minutes while those get charged up enough to finish the map, but anyways, please continue your point that you were making.
Yeah, I mean, I was the bounce off was there, but also the attack pause kind of overwhelming. But it's like, yeah, you're seeing the streakiness happen again here on Haven pretty much, and it just feels like Clown9 are on the back foot once again. Like, they have these moments to where it's like, okay, you have it, but it's like I was building up with everything to go with their over aggressiveness. They are able to get themselves in these advantages. You saw this continually on all 3 maps, but the problem is they are so willing to give it up that easily to their own detriment. And I feel like that's really what's been the issue here. And especially after the time, but the fact that I was still seeing it too, it made me a little concerned that, okay, are they really nailing in what they really need to do here? I mean, sure, you've at least got a buy for this round. But not only do, like, the side of TL have the buy, but they have the ultimates to really press in an aggressive advantage if they really wanted to throw in a fast round here. If they really wanted to. Because I feel like, in a way, like, they haven't had to be super aggressive, at least in these early rounds so far. And that's allowing for just the scrap to kind of happen after. Again, they don't have to go aggressive because their opponents are just pushing into them with reckless abandon.
I'd be so real. I haven't been listening to anything you're saying. There's some nonsense
It's
going
okay.
on
The
in the
stream
match
is
chat,
listening to me.
and,
It's fine.
I've been watching the each of the team's coaches just typing some interesting
Dude,
strats. We'll see if
their
any of those
coach
actually
talked
play
about
out, but-
push and alcohol, and I asked if they wanted to
on
share, but then they just started sharing strats instead of the
Ian
booze.
got
I'm pissed
egoed by
off.
Twan. Unlucky.
Ian getting donut is fucking crazy, especially off that good cushion alcohol. I think
it was
when it
just
comes
the
down
timing
to
of my message.
that, but also I don't think they're trying to go to Edmonton to share with you. I'm sorry.
I mean that's fine. I don't drink anyway. Really, I was just trying to fit in, you know.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
definitely
It's
it.
called peer pressure.
There you go.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know, like, obviously we're in the tech pause and, you know, we don't exactly have, you know, the ways of keeping things contained in place. They're still definitely probably able to talk things out. I mean, especially if the coaches are just, you know, yapping and all chat for the shits and giggles. But at least hope that within like this time to really figure it out. Apparently our observer died too. What? Okay, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm at least hoping that this somehow buys at least enough time to kind of make things okay. There's obviously going to be a momentum shift here, given the fact that it stalled out this much. Can Clown9 actually do something to get a foothold back into this? I mean, it's like we were saying at the top of the series, there's not too much that they're playing for aside from seeding, but I mean, if you're dropping a series to TL here, especially after dropping, I'm pretty sure, to T1 as well, I think they also, have they or have they not won against FSG? I don't remember. But it's like, if you're showing all these losses and these really rough signs against these other top teams going into playoffs, it kind of scares you a little bit going into it. Like, these guys have been practicing. They're clearly really trying to make things work out. And I mean, this is just another hurdle, but it's not really instilling the confidence from the outside view, I feel.
Well, we'll see how that goes come playoffs. Meanwhile, I believe we are getting final ready checks from all of our players, and we should be heading back into the round shortly. As we see that the timer moving once again.
Yeah, I
and
was about to say, if we were
able to make an adjustment.
Yeah, it's really what I'm looking forward to here. And hey, one caveat: we're not Liga Ace. That was.
I feel like that's covering the bare minimum.
I know it is. Yeah, no, I knew my intention with that was not going to be, you know, going for anything hard hitting, but I tried.
Going for a bit of an A main default here.
A little bit, but they put a lot of aggression and bodies towards like the B side, just trying to take out grass, and they were willing to show. I mean, you already had Claps being forced to use the smoke to at least not let them push in.
No one really moving on the side of C9 yet, though.
No, and that's really off it. They're pushing out the running back in this. Yeah, I get what these fakes. They were able to make it work out the last time with Ender just buying all that attention. Do it again with the run it back. I mean, if it ain't broke, you don't need to fix that shit, because clearly just one person can buy every single rotation off.
C9 are realizing their mistake, but too late. Igni is trying to stop the plant. It's actually not going down yet, but
no, and it's not going down quite
either.
That's why a pairing Hunter's Fury going back instead. Caleb's trying to find anything, but not quite. Case Marcel going down to the flank there. That's the first thing you need to find there from somebody here. Spraying out everything you kind of can, and it's getting scrapped in the site. But I cannot tell whether the trades are going back and forth in favor of which side, but clearly it's on the defense side because Claps is trying to make everything work out here. They attempted drawn from the nut, yet able to get a second one, but you're causing all this sound bait. You have no idea about this reposition. And you look up into the eyes of the beholder.
The reposition from H is perfect there, using the silent jump tech to get up to heaven without Claps being able to hear it. And what looked like it was a retake that had a chance for C9 is once again crushed by TL.
Yeah, it really just is, like, even with the flooding on the side of C9, it feels like TL are just so much more drilled with these team fights in general, to where it's like, okay, things are going to get scrappy, things are going to get chaotic. How the hell are we supposed to observe this? We can't. But what matters is that they're winning out the team fights and winning out these rounds.
Yeah. Art is really having trouble getting into this game so far. 3 and 6, 4 assists, doing damage, but not nearly as dominant as he has been on past maps. We'll see if he gets any action in Garage here.
Yeah, the main thing was really, like, they were still doing perfectly fine in the first few rounds, and I'm hoping that maybe you can have that change up to where, again, you're playing the similar role you were doing, or the similar positions as the start, but I'm a little concerned, really, at least in terms of, you know, it might just take a bad timing. And just
barely misses the fight with Ender there.
Yeah, but are you really going to even attempt pushing out? Because you have Linus on the other side there. I don't think you really want to aggress for it. I don't think that's really the intention. But still playing ahead of this trip. Just trying to just see what you can find here and just stop a flood split pretty much. Fully blinded up again, but trying to find something, especially with the timing. And you're at least able to get with the spike, but the pack step is already there. At least able to find one from spraying down, but everything getting so scrappy again in their favor, but they're already pivoting. 25 seconds left. This might still get a little dicey. I'm still not fully convinced on the side of attack yet.
Linus has to live here on the A site. C9, though, is not convinced by it yet. Linus might have just spotted out the shoulder of Case Bars, not entirely sure. Spots him now, gets the kill.
That's
and
a
once
mini-map.
again, it's going to be an A retake for C9.
Yeah, really unfortunate timing for Case Bars there. I'm pretty sure you had to have been checking the minimap because what was that hold there, really? I mean, at least they're trying to make something. Dry fight happen.
Well, is late
Club's
here.
trying so hard. Yeah. Club's trying so hard to make something happen dry, even with the smoke in the pocket, but I feel like they're just kind of just bashing their head in at this point and kind of just getting outplayed at every turn. And that's their second time up blown here as well. I mean, I'm in the same position here as Twan. I'm not happy. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I am not happy with what I'm seeing so far. I don't know if it's exactly going to be the same POV that I have been seeing. That, like, I don't know if we're on the same level. Because, you know, Twan clearly knows what they're doing because, you know, they are literally the best, at least the highest echelon personality we have in this tournament, having been a coach for Tier 2. And I'm pretty sure Game Changers, I think, too. Beef with Trick, W shit, I guess. But yeah, no, like, I'm not convinced really with this. And remember how you were highlighting at the start of this, Fuzzy, where it's like, oh yeah, these past two maps have been dominated by the defensive holds. It's kind of as you alluded to, there's a chance that might not happen on Haven, and so far, it clearly hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think C9 have just been too passive on their defense so far. Like, think back to their pistol. What was so effective for them was they walked out of A as 3, were able to pressure H off of that line, and then were just fully enclosing TL and able to just swarm them on that C site. They haven't done anything like that on any of their gun rounds. They've done some more individual pushouts, but they haven't done any more coordinated aggression. This, though, is mid-walk, changing it up, gets 2, but traded out again by TL.
Yeah, and I mean, I completely agree with that, where it's like, finally, they're trying something a little bit more aggressive, but most of the time it was followed up by overheating, but at least in this time with this eco, things are starting to actually make a little bit turn for the better here. You're able to equalize into a 2v2. You've even got a run it back ready for Makai if you can at least get into a position to use it properly. At least spawning at 1, but I mean, you're just going to get run at. You did not get picked off here. And
I'm amazed
really able to
he's
get
able to
out
make
here
it
with
out
their life.
alive.
Yeah, but because of that pressure, they're still thinking they're running towards A when they're already making the C pivot back in towards Skateboard setup.
This is such a great call. I'm not sure exactly who's doing the mid-rounding for TL. I know Caleb is listed as their IGL, but whoever's made this call has read the situation perfectly. Makai is going to be able to pick up a gun here in window from the kill that they picked up, but this is still going to be a disadvantage retake for C9.
Yeah, I mean, they at least have garage control with the trip that they've had there consistently, but it's pretty much just going to be off the back of the run it back to make something happen here for this. But they are definitely not going to expect the wrap into CT for crying out loud for this. You have your fucking case bars! Oh! Every single gambit that they have pulled out on this attack has been a complete masterclass. Every single adaptation that C9 have attempted to make have completely been halted. TL are really like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of them every single time. It doesn't matter what adaptation they've been able to make. Yeah, Caleb
was a
spinning
great
facts.
round from TL, but that was also a slightly scuffed by from C9. They are now able to have full Phantoms and a Odin up. We'll see if that adaptation now can come through for them with equal guns.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of rather difficult to really go off this when, I mean, I think someone invested a flash, but it's still just a 5-man death ball, really. Spawning out 1 there, but, I mean, they can just pop their own run it back if they really wanted to, and yeah, getting a spray through with the Odin, they're just going to shoot you out with the guns, with the bullets just being seen. At least you're able to stop the run it back. That is at least one thing to call it off, but, okay, now they're at least realizing that, okay, they're just really just willing to rotate through, investing the ult, and then just win a scruff. But Makai's in a prime position to punish. Never mind, I didn't realize it was 2. I'm stupid, I'm not looking at my minimap. God, that is disgusting. Able to take out H-Star as well. Able to really maximize on this, but do they even expect a triple flank there? I mean, maybe so, but K-Sparks needs to be really on their toes, and it doesn't matter. They're just willing to push to the CT and just take the kill.
I was about to say this is the first time in such a long time that C9 have had the player advantage on the retake, but now down to 3v2 for a second, 2v2 now. Blind coming out.
Blind for itself,
able to
but
separate the fights.
you're going for the ace. You're going for that with that. Not dead yet. And you're able to get the down ace in for Claps. A much needed round win there. Of course, it's off the heroics of Claps.
Well-deserved round, going for the minus 5k onto the body of Linus there too. I'm still not entirely convinced by the calls that they're making, but I think if they are able to get this round across the line, then they should have at least a hope of winning on their attack half.
Yeah, I mean, at least you saw that mid-round adaptation where it's like, yeah, they're investing all these like pump fakes pretty much, and now they're finally attempting some sort of refight to at least catch off some of these rotates. You have to, like, sure, it wasn't ace from Claps, but it wasn't just Claps who was on that reclear. And at least they have some sort of idea to adapt with it, but it still feels like they're making the same tendencies where it's like they're failing them, and it still has to come down to heroics.
Cage trigger.
I was just trying to live so hard, but is at least able to get out. But again, the pump fakes again! They aren't stopping. They haven't been conditioned not to do this quite yet. The only pivot that you have right now is Iggy taking up at least before lobby, but not much else besides this. A bear contained, if anything, but I'm not convinced quite yet. Especially with the rotations already being drawn back to A, expecting... But no, instead, because you're so used to the pump fakes, like, yeah, Iggy knows that they're not at quite A yet, but they're apparently not expecting the refights. Taking side completely because K-Force can't do anything on 5 HP and a Guardian. They essentially have to flood through, but still at least able to get one. And they're all theft there too, but trying to get pincered so hard, but still make it so damn difficult before to just get the kill. They're investing the jet knives to flush him out and not even able to. Hunter's Fury coming out, but Makai's not even able to take an advantage there. Oh. 9-3 half there. I was already saying it in the last round.
Switching sides.
They have just been so many steps ahead of Clown9 with everything that they are doing.
Hello.
They
Testing.
haven't really...
Testing.
Yep. Oh, you were DC, weren't you? Oh, okay.
Well, I could hear you, but given
Okay.
the amount of talked over I was getting, I assumed you couldn't hear me.
I see. No, and I assume... Oh, that's so fucked. That's just a video moment. I have now been on the receiving end of that. Fuck, unfortunately. Surely there was at least some coverage there, depending on, you know, what the stream actually heard, but do I know? No, clearly not. But
Anyways.
Yeah, but...
9-3 half. Out for
Thank
TL.
you, Ian. Yeah, you really hope that they can manage something on their attack, but I don't know. Like I said, like, I have not been convinced, especially with everything that's happened so far. This past half has just been all TL, making every adaptation possible.
All of C9 are just grouped up on site here, really bunkering down. H not looking the right way.
Not expecting it, actually. Yeah, the push-out,
TL are fighting
multi-across
for
is
garage
crazy.
heavy here, not expecting so many players to be in there.
But such a tight death ball from the defense isn't really going to work out in this case. It's not going to work out like it did on the attack. And now they just have to go for these single fights where at least Ender's able to find out Iggy, but they still have so much groundwork to make here. But it doesn't matter when they're going to get suffocated in. A 3K for R with the frenzy. I assume it was all with the frenzy, but even still. Oh, the continued pressure. Okay. They've managed to make something happen. They've gone another pistol. It fell away from them starting from the bonus, but it's a possible start here, Fuzzy.
I have extra money if
Yeah,
anyone
I mean, this is the bare minimum of what C9 need to get back into this map. TL not panicking yet. It's the pistol. Stuff can happen. If they lose this next round, that's what you expect. Even if they lose the bonus, I'm not panicking yet. They
No,
lose,
not
I'd say,
quite, yeah.
I think if they get 5 in a row, that is where TL should start to panic.
A really weird passive hold, at least going into lobby, expecting there to be some amount of aggression, which they are right, but have yet to sniff out. That's at least one revealed there. I don't think they saw Ender quite yet. But I think they're still willing to just find these ones before
It's an
anything
ego,
else.
though. Looks like they are planning to do their due diligence here. At least are looking like it. Igneous spotting it out, but
Down A.
does go down before getting traded by Micaiah.
Yeah, dropping the one there, but I mean, you've got 2 inside with classics, but I'm just trying to make sure that they don't like completely like overhit and overplay the position. Because again, you're just gonna get guns dropped, and that's Caleb finding one. Not losing too much into this quite yet, but it's making me feel this is way too scrappy, and that it's still rather volatile on the side of C9. They're still trying to get the foothold into this, and okay, you'll at least manage to get out with 3. Let's see what you can manage for the next few rounds to see if, okay, can you convince me that this isn't just a flash in the pan snowball?
Yeah, I mean, not perfectly clean from C9, but you still got a Vandal, 2 Vandals, a Phantom, and I think I saw a Bulldog in there. Maybe not, maybe gonna just keep these 3 guns that they had from the last round and go with the pistols. Still
Yeah, 'cause,
a
I mean, that's really all
reasonable
you
buy.
need.
I mean, the Bandit, the new addition to the game, quite a valuable gun on these eco rounds.
Yeah, especially so when you can just one-tap someone at pretty damn long ranges. It definitely helps if you just have the right aim for that.
Linus
Spotting
actually
out-
buying into that
yeah.
past round now only has a Sheriff to work with here. He's going to be receiving a lot of the aggression from C9.
Yeah, I mean, you've already spotted out some people into this, around this B area, but they're just waiting to go fast, and that is a crazy fadeaway shot there. I think partially blinded by the paranoia there, but Makai's still able to find 2, and just, they're able to hold things off here. Still an advantage in this B site for now. And not with much of a foothold, too. Nobody's really trying to press any of these other angles, and it feels like they're all more or less covered for.
Case
A
Bars
really
catches
great lord
slow
timing
running
there,
out of
actually,
timing through
yeah.
Garage.
I mean, Claps goes down, and that is the flank going down as well, but Iggy's position, I don't think you're going to note this, especially...
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, you're not!
Enemy remaining.
Kill's gonna do everything with a face check with the Odin. Has yet to really heat up, but this clutch would definitely throw things in their advantage. It's just sticking! And he's able to... He gets it! Because of the whiff from the Vandal.
Dart misses. Oh my god. Caleb balls of steel there just to stick it. Pros don't
Liter-
fake.
From what I'm seeing, if I even had like a fucking mental replay of that, the shots that Iggy had, they just happened to spray in between the legs. And then just like to the right.
Well, I think
And then
that's
it's just like,
honestly...
oh.
That's got to be a miscom from the side of C9. They didn't plant in that usual corner that you're seeing, and so that shock dart from Igneous ends up missing.
Probably, actually. You're probably actually right about that. So they have to at least make something work, which at least,
though,
hey, they still have guns for it.
In that last round, did so much damage that it's going to be TL down on the low buy as Ender does not care, gets a kill through the smoke, and Caleb gets one onto Art, although it is traded by Micaiah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't even realize that they were going in like full eco on the side of TL for this, which, I mean, they're not able to recover these guns. Ender's trying to find one, and they're already going to get pincered out here. Keysforce is not going to expect 2 here either. So that's the
even
one
expect
gun that they're able to
first.
pick up. That's the one, because Ender goes down on the other side there, and okay, they're at least willing to pivot, it seems like, towards C, but I think they're just willing to go wherever these, as these 2. Why do these end towards B? But the problem is, there's still one outlier, and it's the old man on our screen right now. That is redemption. That is redemption there from the last round, Iggy. Good recovery there to at least manage the 2v2 here. Both of them still rather lackluster. Sure, H has the rifle, but still a lot of ground to cover.
Only
Last
spotted
player standing.
H
And
now
that slowdown
spots
as well.
both.
And that reveals the pause too. They can just sell it for whatever time they want unless they give individual fights, which I'm a little scared that they do, and they are! Chunking down some damage. I don't know if you necessarily saw, but now it's down to Iggy. Redeeming himself once again in the clutch.
Igneous running away is just going to play for his ult.
Wait, that is such a good call there, actually. Yeah, 'cause there's no time for it. You can't bait it out. You at least get it out, but there was no chance to try and recover.
I don't think H even gets to keep this gun either.
No, because he didn't go to the A side of the map.
TL, though, can't be unhappy with that round. You come into that round with just pistols, and you make the other team makes it out with only one left alive. That's huge economic damage done to C9.
Yeah, especially because you're looking at, yeah, they're fine with this buy here, but you get one more round like that, and they're broke. And if you can manage that, not only are they broke, if you get the round, like, that's you on 11, that's going to be them in real panic mode.
We'll see how this plays out. Ender does have the convergent pass ready. Caleb also with the Silva ult. Micaiah ripping to run it back.
Yeah, and that's right, buying so much attention. Had to buy out the paranoia, but it doesn't matter. The pings are going at least in their favor. He's trying so hard to hold this down as a Phoenix with the node, and for crying out loud. He's able to dodge out for now, but still goes down. Well, you got an orb technically, but it's because you died. But this split so many rotations off, and Caleb did see Makai there for a moment. Able to talk for a bit, but you got to the furthest really.
I don't think he actually spotted it. Maybe pinged on the minimap, but Ender looks completely clueless to this.
Oh no. You want to...
What?
Wait, you... Because of the pause, thinking maybe go for it. They invest both ults, but oh, that is crazy. A 2v1 here for Ender, 33 HP. 7 to play, but they're playing it individual! Bizo not dead yet, so that's pretty much the gambit with that. Yeah, because Pops has to push you if you even want to get the value out of it. And you're still not even able to get it. You're able to... Oh, guns a-blazing. Not scared at all.
Still super low here.
But didn't even spot out Art! And you still have all this effort you have to make here. Don't follow your death. Please don't. Thank you. First step, but you're noted completely.
Yeah, not predicting that reposition from Art. Art just following up behind Claps with the not dead yet. And even though he wasn't able to convert that kill, creates the space for Art to play into.
Yeah, but really all of that's coming down because really that could have went in the direction of TL if it wasn't for the incredible lurk timing there from Micaiah. Able to, obviously, you're deciding whether or not you want to go for an ego knife kill, but in lieu of that, you actually bait out two very important ultimates on the side of TL.
You bait
which
out
honestly is better than any knife
TL
kill.
Down onto another ego. They have a Bucky and 4 pistols.
Why don't we invest the hot hands instead of a flash to really clear it out? But I'm not spotting out for a little bit of a tag, but able to heal up for your H, but it's just smoke and mirrors here. The only caveat is that because they're so committed here, Ender's just willing to push out. I mean,
he just made steps though. I don't know if they were close enough to hear it, but H also pushed out here.
No, I think they are, but now that's causing a lot, but I don't think they're going to expect H as a second layer here. Especially not. Great slowdown from Makai to at least get the 1, but like I was saying, I don't think you're going to exactly expect H here. Especially with the callback! The callback is insane to at least get 1, but can you possibly get more? No, backs into Micaiah. Spotting out slow as well. This back and forth is actually crazy. I thought that the ones who were so privy to rotating were TL on their attack. I think we have seen so much more of it from Clown9 on their attack so far, just because for some reason it's just working. It's just so funny to see.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
And they're just looking their wounds and just not even able to pick up a rifle instead of just going down for it. On for the ace here if you're Makai, if you really want for it, and I'll be honest, you need to go for these kills. You're about to have your run it back. Even in death here, but no, you don't get either, which is arguably a yellow card, but you are still able to get this away with just 1 death.
Slightly troll, but yeah, this is what I needed to see from TL. H calls the timeout. Make a plan with the guns you have this round. You have the run it back and the neural theft to work with. Have Linus almost up on this Omen ult as well. Micaiah also won off the run it back. I'm interested to see if TL try to play and deny orbs for Micaiah to keep him from being able to use that on an exec for the side of C9, but
it's weird because I feel like they haven't really been playing for any ult orbs, at least so far on their defense though, Fuzzy. So it's like, I want to believe that that is like an option they can really go for, but I haven't really seen anything from that just yet, so I don't know if that's the adjustment they're really looking into it. I feel like it's probably going to be somewhere along the lines of, okay, they're just over-rotating a lot, especially off of their pump fakes, and they're falling into similar-ish sort of pitfalls. Not over-aggressing, but just not able to take advantage of the positions that they have, really.
Well, I was going to say, I have similar criticism for TL on their defense half that I did for C9, which is that I don't think they're honestly getting proactive enough. I think they should be grouping up as 3, going for lobby fights, going for pushes out C-long, something to make this map smaller for you. The advantage of the attackers is that you have so much, the defensive rotates are so long, so you need to be grouping up and fighting together to try and make that map smaller for the attackers.
Exactly. You want to be able to gel them properly, but it feels like it's just been so loose on both defense halves that it's just like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Revealing the Odin already, but I think they're only showing just one. They're just Iggy. I don't know if you're going to expect multiple, especially with the Pico not getting clicked in the head quite yet.
I mean, Caleb saw collapse and wanted no part of that. Ender, though, tagged down so low already.
Tagged down by Iggy, I have to imagine, because I don't know when that happened at any point, but... Oh, and the face down there, another person down on low HP, and oh, that's a good trade there, at least able to take out Caleb while getting rid of the run it back in. They're fine with this pump fake. They're willing to just Micaiah as a sacrificial lamb. Ideally, you should at least get one of these low HP targets before going
once
down.
Again in a weird spot on Phoenix, and finds Ender just completely for free. Has the chance to pick up on Linus too. Art, meanwhile, updrafts over the trip and finds slow ready. Micaiah finds Linus on B. It's all onto H, and he will just have to save the time out, not bringing anything for TL.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, there is still, like, a small chance that's, like, okay, they're still walking into the Cypher setup. Can anything happen off that? But poor positioning, they just updraft over anyway, so it's just, like, what are you supposed to do there if you're slow anyway? I mean, the only caveat... Yeah, I mean, the only caveat, at least going into this next round, is that they've got some pretty decent also really work off of here. I mean, you've got the run it back, you've got the neural theft, and you have the Into the Shadows, which... I know Linus has predominantly been using at least to make for faster rotations, which, I mean, should ideally help now, especially that you're on the defense, but it kind of just remains to be said. I mean, I would at least like to hope that whatever adjustment they had can still somehow be followed through into this next round, if at all.
Gonna be tough, though. I mean, they're gonna be down on another low buy here. We'll see if they're able to scrap something together. Looks like they're gonna be going for some lighter guns, but if they do commit to this, okay, they are all buying up now fully. But it's rough. There's a Bulldog, there's a Judge. It's going to be tough for them to really do what they talked about in that timeout.
Yeah, I think one thing that I'm kind of realizing in my head, especially off that last round, because you're threatening out the Odin here on H, just completely jailing them off C, it's completely deterring them from really taking that advantage. But the problem is that they aren't really be able to fight them properly towards like the A side of the map, really, and they're just steamrolling on through when you've established a threat on C. They can only go pretty much one place, and they can't even hold off against it.
The other thing is they're leaving the Cypher setup on C, or on A rather, meaning that you don't have the numbers there to fight for lobby or anything like that. Linus does go for the falling one way and looks like Spotted collapsed his legs for just a second, but nothing to come of that.
Yeah, and the Observer caught it too, where they also invested the paranoia into that too, just trying to hold off like a push that wasn't even really happening, and they don't even necessarily have to go there either. Leaving the insert so if they really do want to refight, they very much can. But still floating over C, Caleb is able to hear this rotation at least. But I don't think you're really in a prime position to hold this off with a Judge and a Dart. Not really, no. They pretty much just have to concede the fact that they're just going to have to retake this. Just minus Collapse on the opposite side, trying to at least be able to find Linus before going down, but it's able to get that a little bit of a Prius, but honestly, it probably doesn't matter-ish. Even still, Ender having to make 2 in a 1v4. Yeah, like, able to get both of them on A side. We only see one of those kills. I thought they were dead to right after the second, but alive with pretty much like 10 HP. And really, there's not much Ender can really do here except maybe play for exits. Spotted by the cam, but their econ isn't quite admittedly and quite crudely, it's in the shitter. It's like on the opposite side of C9. They have built up such an economy after the string of rounds that they've had. It's going to be rather difficult to break it through beyond this.
TL not able to save any guns on that. They have 4 ults online now, but they don't really have the buy to back it up. They might be looking to build something around that, and now Flavicon calling that second timeout as C9 bring it up to 10, equalizing the score lines. Once again, is this going to be another massive comeback for C9, or are TL going to be able to close this out?
I think the better way to frame that, possibly Fuzzy, is if they're able to make the comeback, or if TL are just going to end up choking it from here. Because this is the second timeout that they have blown. Their second timeout in, 3 rounds? They're trying so hard to at least grasp onto something that they can manage, but they haven't been able to string anything together. It's falling out of their grasp, and I think the weight is falling down on them.
It's a tough one. I mean, it has to be in the back of their mind as well. They've already given up a 9-3 lead this series, so they want to do anything to prevent that. They have 4 ults to work with this round. They have Enders, they have the Waylay, the Phoenix, the Cypher, and the Omen ult. Only thing they're missing is Sova. Looks like they are going to be buying up around this as well, trying to make something happen with those ults. But if it doesn't happen this round, I really don't know what's going to happen. All right, they're not actually. It's going to be a Bulldog from Slow and Pistols from the rest of them. But
yeah, I think
again,
you're willing to at least
just
consider
need to do something to get around on the board.
Yeah, but I don't think it's really going to happen with this. I mean, considering what I had called prior, 3 of the 4 ults that you had mentioned were present in their first timeout as well. The only thing that's come up since is the Convergent Paths, and I mean, sure, it wouldn't be great to really invest in these ults quite yet. That's at least not one of the ults going down, but that's still an important piece going down. Trying to cause any sort of reaction here really hates trying to make some heroics happen there, but just getting punished on the pushouts.
And I mean, they're also playing so individually on their ecos. You've got 4 people on pistols. Have them group up, do a weird-ass high-low in garage, and hope to catch someone out and grab a gun or something like that. It's just Caleb going for a walk down a lobby by himself and dies for it.
Another thing to really take into, they're willing to invest the neural theft into this econ here. It really should be just taken on the other way around to, at least invest something on the defense side, but they're just so stubborn and unwilling. And this is just rather ridiculous, but they are able to manage a near flawless there. But once again, after so damn long, C9 taking the lead in this series, 2 rounds away from closing it out.
I mean, the neural theft is from the side of C9, so
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Do have 4 ults rather to work with.
Yeah.
But if we don't see at least 2 of those used this round, I mean, that's just screaming we're tilted and we don't know what to do.
Yeah. The problem is, you're taking these timeouts to really do that. Is it just for the mental slack? Because that's just what it feels like. Because I feel like you should be using that time to just be like, okay, let's just do a set ult strat. Let's just come up with something stupid, but just come up with something to use these ults instead of just holding them in the bank and we just die with them, not doing anything. I feel like that's what you've been wanting to see from them, but they just haven't been able to manage anything.
Caleb also using that drone so early instead of the dart. Claps gets the pick onto Ender in garage.
Carry free angle, and it's already ready for the second one here too, and just gets it for free. Just walking into the crosshair.
It's what I said before. They're just playing so individually. They're trying to re-clear the space that's been lost, but they're just shift walking into angles that are being held.
Yeah, I mean, once again, they're still willing to just call for all these fakes. You have all this attention going around the map. Apparently, I guess that bought rotation for them to go to A side, but they're just like, okay, you know what? We've had all this attention at C garage. Let's just end up hitting there. Just see what happens.
I mean, can they even afford to go for this retake?
I don't think they can. No, I completely agree with you. And again, if they try and go for this and they invest any ults into it, I can't even say that it is a red card. I would actually pull out the black card. The black card that I don't want to pull out. And thank God they're just going for the save.
But thank God they're going for the save. But they still have all 4 ults that they've had. Caleb at least able to keep the Odin for now, but like do something proactive on this map. That's what you need to do as the defense on Haven. It's too big of a map to just play passive on all of the sites.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much lost all the playmaking potential in that round because of the 2 that they lost at the beginning to collapse there. Like, I mean, what are you really supposed to invest in there beyond that? I mean, these guns are just consolation prizes, but they don't really matter. The only thing maybe is that, okay, Caleb has gotten 2 of those kills. You're 1 away from the Hunter's Fury. You're the only one who I might think is willing to actually pop an ultimate into this last round, maybe. But even still, like, Caleb, who hasn't been able to show up quite yet to really take things over to the edge of TL, you can manage.
If you lose this round without having used your ult, I guess you're just saving it for RRQ because C9 are on match point.
Yeah, like, I just trust at least, like, Caleb, if you can grab an orb, like, or a kill, like, I know that he's going to pop the Hunter's Sphere. I know he is the player that will do that. I'm just hoping that if you can make something happen. You made it happen in the first 2 maps. Surely you can make something happen here on the 3rd. Not able to get anything except for damage out there. Has to be able to run it back, actually. But I don't think that's necessarily a favorable alter you want to use. Eclipse is still able to get out alive. Completely unscathed too, and gets to run it back, but or the not. Yeah, but that actually gets enough for the Hunter's Fury here. You have to press the advantage here. But it's causing so much attention here. At least I'm gonna get C. That is the going down, but that was actually a shock there. But applying all this attention, you at least have to flood retake here. The only thing you don't have is a run it back. Hunter's Fury and conversion pass popped at the same time, but I don't think it really netted anything. They thought they committed the site, but they just fell off completely. Arteta's taking off now, but because they have the site completely, JD can just flood in for free. Slowing everything down low. Investing the run it back into this for some reason. Ooh.
Hang on a
Hunter's
second.
Fury as well. They're pushing it down. But they know about it now, and that's a full blind. That's a Linus. Buying enough attention. They're low. Very low, but they haven't checked it yet. They're going to get concerned. But that's enough. You have no time to actually get this full defuse. And that's a sprint up from a guy to get the 4K.
And that's how it gets done.
I mean,
that was
credit to C9 for the solid mental on the comeback, but oh wow, that really felt like TL should have been able to take it.
I need a run back on that last round because I can't even tell you how many ults got used there. It felt like it was like somewhere between 7 to 9 ultimates used on that round.
I believe 7.
It's just like, ugh. Yeah, but it's like you see all that where it's like they completely concede the site where it's like, okay, that's all great. They can flood in, take out the people that are still kind of lurking about, but then they just put in their own ults and somehow are able to stall out the defuse when they had no right being able to manage through that. And ultimately, that's another win for C9 there.
I mean, silver lining for TL, not out of playoffs yet. They can still qualify with a win over RRQ. But you would have loved to have this one as well.
Yeah, barely slipping out, and really it just felt like the mental just kind of got to them there. And frankly speaking, I mean, obviously, I haven't seen what's been happening with RRQ IHOP yet. Is this series still going on? Okay, it did finish up, and RRQ did 1-2-1. So yeah, that match especially. I knew that match was going to be particular because obviously they have the same stakes here too, and now it's really much go time. That head-to-head is going to be so important because that quite literally dictates who is the final playoff team going in from the alpha brackets.
We will have to wait to find out. It looks like we're getting maybe Micaiah in here for an interview. We will see who we get. We will be happy whatever we get. But as it is, yeah, I mean, C9, with that win, they solidify their spot in the towards the top of the alpha group.
Yeah, because that should just be second, I would imagine. Because like, if T1 like lose a match, I'm pretty sure that concedes it. But then again, I still don't remember what's going on with FSG. But even still, like, obviously, that actually, well, you know, that is their final match, right? They're 6-1, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't know if they have the important head-to-heads with that,
C9,
but I mean, that is such a good...
C9 are confirmed second seed at this point. If FSG win their next... if FSG lose 2 games from here, C9 can be first seed.
Got it. Okay. But guaranteed second at this point. Okay, that is... I was just curious about how that head-to-head was between them in T1, at least in terms of how that was working out. So, but I would imagine that is an advantage. Like, truthfully, I have no idea what the playoff bracket's supposed to be looking like. I just know these teams are qualifying, but I'd still have to imagine that at least guaranteeing second. It's clearly better than third and fourth, obviously. I'm just not too sure what Angus has cooked up for the bracket quite yet. Me who don't know. But I mean, you're looking at everything here on the, like, oh, such a dominant half on both of their attacks, which is definitely quite the opposite from the first two maps in this series. And you kind of saw it, at least on the stats page, where eventually, like, I mean, Claps was obviously hard carrying kills, and so many first bloods came the way predominantly towards C9, and it's like, yeah, you kind of needed that snowball to happen, and it really did. I'm hoping we get Micaiah in here soon, because I really want to pick their brain about that series. I've got questions. I say I've got questions. I have nothing prepared, but I need to pick their brain on something, right? Surely.
I you know what? Knowing you, I feel like you will come up with something to say to them. I have no doubt of this.
I was honestly, before going into the final few rounds, I was thinking, okay, maybe I just leave you to yap for this part and maybe prepare some questions and actually do something. Clearly that hasn't happened. Good job, me, I guess. But yeah, I mean, 382 ACS and 7 first bloods there from Claps. That's actually kind of crazy. I mean, especially with Makai having picked it up, yeah. Looks like we've got our interview soon. Really rather soon here. Whenever Makai joins in here. Me who gone silent, but you don't know why? Micaiah, congratulations on the win. Ending off 6-1 in the alpha bracket. And you guys are at least guaranteed seconds. At least guaranteed seconds going into playoffs. I can't hear anything. I assume it might be on my end. Surely.
Nope, I cannot hear anything either.
Ugh.
Well, looks like Ian will try to get Micaiah all sorted out. Anyways, what's you like jazz?
I might be willing, honestly, to do a refresh myself just in case.
I can't hear them either.
Okay.
Sounds like you didn't come out. Alright, well, sounds like the interview may not be happening tonight.
Yeah, it'll happen in 14
unlucky.
hours from now. Unlucky indeed. Yeah, 14 hours moment.
Ian is doing everything he can behind the scenes, pulling all
Worst
the
thing
bells and
is
whistles.
worse. We can hop into Discord and just mute the video audio, perhaps, or at least like our mics.
This is also true.
Okay.
Gaming.
You know what? At that case, I'm gonna refresh too. Bye bye.
Well, interesting. What is that image on the right? This is a dude levitating pizza? That's awesome. Hello, hello. Oh, I can hear you now.
Micaiah? Am I also in stereo?
Yep, good job.
There. Thank you, thank you. W. Yeah, no, what? Thank you. Micaiah, congrats.
Oh, we're still back.
Here. You guys are definitely still back. 6-1. Ending off your group stage here in the alpha bracket. Also, guaranteed second place going into playoffs with a potential of getting first. Obviously, a bit of a weird stipulation there, but you managed to squeak out this win. Obviously, give me the first impressions. Did you almost shit yourself or not?
Pants shitted. I'm crying. I'm pissing. I'm everything. Everything is going wrong right now with my body, but it was worth it. I think. I hope.
I mean, I would have to hope it's worth it because, yeah, your body took the toll, but you guys still came away with the win in a well-fought series here, all things considered. I guess let's start back with the first two maps because those ones I feel like we can sum up fairly similarly because that was dictated purely by the defensive halves. Obviously, you were able to make things work on Sunset, not quite much on Ascent. Kind of run through us with like kind of just how that sort of like laid out. Like, was your whole plan really being like, okay, let's see what we can do on defense, or like what worked, what didn't? What was the game plan with that, I guess?
So with Sunset specifically, like obviously we did a pretty crazy 9-3 comeback. So that was insane. I think even though the match didn't really matter a whole lot, we were really much really very much in our heads about like how the game was gonna go, because we had a lot of rivalries going on. You know, Claps and H, that matchup, the Slow and Case Bars matchup. Slow was shooting like fucking crazy at the beginning of the map, so like crazy shit. And then we go on to Ascent, and kind of the same, like we like halfway solved the nerves, and then goes on to Ascent, and we just kind of fumbled a little bit on the defense, or well, not, I guess, yeah, on the defense as well as the attack, because of our we're just in our heads too much, constantly thinking of like what play is the best play rather than just doing a play, and then we kind of hesitated because of that.
Yeah, because I would have to imagine that sounded a little bit anecdotal because, I mean, on Ascend, you were a little bit missing from the server. So it's like, we kind of noticed that. And like, would you at least admit that's like partially anecdotal, I suppose?
Oh, no, for sure. I to be honest with you, I may not like seem like it, but I was definitely the most in my head. I kind of keep it to myself, which is not the greatest thing in the world, but we'll make do with what we got, you know?
And I mean, that was
not the greatest, but it'll work.
But that was still the second map, and it's like, okay, you still had a third map to play. I would have to imagine, I'm going to ask the obvious question, how much of your mental got solved by, your standing coach, map 3?
The GOAT?
One buff.
The actual GOAT?
The actual GOAT?
This is what he said in, like, all of the timeouts that he called, is that we have the macro down, we're just in our fucking heads and don't know what to do when we get into that mid-round situation where we're either in a position to potentially do like a sight hit, or we have a man advantage and we need to punish them on that, and then they catch us in the interim of that, you know, very much wanting to kind of like do the perfect play rather than just do a play.
Because I feel like the way you're kind of describing it actually kind of just really came down to what you saw on Haven in a nutshell. Not even just for you, but even with those supposed like mental parodies, it felt like it was a pretty similar match for both teams overall on that map, to where it's like, okay, the mental stack was getting up, who was going to bring it over. And I mean, at least clearly on your end, along with Claps, were able to, manage to steamroll that attack and really bring things forward, especially because, again, you didn't have the best performance on Descent, but you brought it back tenfold with some of those attack round plays.
Yeah, I genuinely turned my brain off for some of those, because I was just like, I'm genuinely just thinking too much about the game. I need to commit to something. And
I have to actually ask then, off of that, you had that one round, the first time that you did the lurk from B, you went up behind Caleb, looking like you were about to knife, but then decided to pull your gun out, see if you could find something else. You ended up having both ults baited out and essentially wasted. I have to assume that's like part of that, just like, okay, get in my head, just do something, right? Just not overthink it. Like,
yeah,
I have to imagine that's one fight.
I was thinking about the knife, and then I was just like, wait, hold on, pause. They could, that could bait more shit, maybe get another pick. I didn't end up getting the second kill because I'm a fucking chud. But
it didn't matter. You still baited out both ultimates, and they didn't really end up, impacting really much. But yeah, I mean, again, you guys were able to squeak it out. I feel like a lot of the tendencies you were having, or what you described, happened on the opposite side for TL, and it's like, I'm vaguely curious to see how that really felt, but it probably was the same. But either way, you guys came out, and again, you guys are now still topping right now, guaranteed seconds. Surely that at least has to have some sort of weight off your shoulders to be like, I think, to me, we were kind of setting up at the start of this where it's like, okay, if you guys can manage this win, or depending on the result here, I think it's going to be like your confidence last thing, like your team's confidence against some of these, higher echelon teams going into the playoffs. Was that something in your mind at all, or do you have like any retrospect as to like, okay, how do you feel about yourselves against these top teams?
So we were, I mean, I guess we were kind of doubting ourselves a little bit to begin with, especially like the beginning of the, we faced FSG and legitimately we thought this is going to be an easy match. They were, Lee was subbing in, I think, for somebody at the time. And just at 2-0, our comps were, I don't know if you saw, double Senti on Lotus. Not very good. Who could have thunk it? Putting art on a guy who can't really entry, also not a great idea. But after that, we just kind of had a bit of like I guess what you would call a honeymoon period. I don't know, like where we just kind of like switched up our comps. It felt really nice to put that double duelist in, whether it was either me and Art or Claps and Art on the double duelist, and it helped a lot with our macro. And then I guess coming towards the end of the half, it was the other half of the other half of the tournament group stage, we were more just kind of trying to solidify ourselves as like that top team. And I mean it towards the, especially like towards the oh god, wow, I
would say
game.
mainly these, the last few series you've had is like really showing like, okay, like we can actually do this, because the way that I'm framing it now in my mind is that a lot of that honeymoon period, you did have to deal with some of the weaker teams, but on the same time, you might say it's a honeymoon period, but you were still getting used to, okay, we're gonna shake things up. Hopefully we can settle into this, and you've just built that consistency up to where, okay, you had some shaky series, but you managed to bring it through. Would you say, like, how would you at least feel about like that assessment then? Would you agree with that, or?
I would agree with that. I mean, it's not a Cloud9 game, or Clown9 game. I'm fucking up my own team.
Same difference anyway. Right?
Yeah, not a Cloud9 game without a banger. We can't actually close it out 2-0. We did it once, and even still, it was like close affairs. I think it was 13-8, 13-10. It's crazy, but yeah, I just want to let it be known, and this is a little bit off topic, but fucking K spars, goat spars. The guy reset his internet and it didn't fix shit, and he still played through that motherfucking lag. He's the GOAT. I don't know. There was one round that one of the 3 rounds we won on defense, where he just got the freest opening pick by walking down C long and dropping.
Yeah, no, that I actually was like, oh my god, like they pincered on him like after and pivoted after, but the fact that he had the balls to do the dumb play, which is push past your Cypher util, but still get the first pick that was impactful, was like, oh, you just one round of brilliance. Yeah, one round of brilliance leading to that. And I mean, again, like that was one small part of you guys leading to now. That was your final match. Again, 6-1, guaranteed second, can potentially get first. What's the plan now? Because I know you guys have been one of the teams that was like consistently screaming and really practicing with each other.
Yeah. What
are you going to do now between now and playoffs? Any plans with that? Anything you want to share with that? Relax.
Shit, we got like so much time, don't we? Like I think we're the first in our group to finish all our games, right?
That's a good question.
I think I hopped close, but
I know you definitely are one of the first. I know for sure, because there are still a bunch of teams that happen, especially because, again, your opponents today now, TL, they're in a win or like a live or die match against the other team in your group that is live or die. Because RRQ won their series while you guys were playing, and the final head-to-head with that for playoffs potentially, or not potentially, guaranteed, whoever wins between RRQ and TL. It is that important now.
Yeah, the Twan came in clutch with a nepotism coach, man. He's got a little stake in it, I think they still could have won. Like, they still could have won the 4th spot even if we lost, but it would have been.
They would have.
It's just so much easier for them now to be able to do that now that we won. And what a way to fucking finish that up. 2 9-3 comebacks. I'm very proud of the team because, like, it's almost like we've kind of gone through almost like every possible scenario for each match. So like we had the 0-2, getting stomped by FSG, then we had the 2-0, and then we had constant 2-1s where like the first map was the one we lost or the second map was the one we lost. And especially with this one where we got shit stomped for the first time, like, because even the FSG match, 2 maps were close, at least. 13-5 is the worst we've done on any map, and it's on our ascent. You know, we're pretty proud of our ascent. I think we got to do a little cracking on that, but that's to be determined what we decide we want to do with that. So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, any final remarks, anything from Fuzzy, and any question you guys want to chime in with? Any final anecdotes, Mikhail?
I mean, I don't think I got anything. You got something for me, Fuzz?
I mean, just to, on sort of just to sort of wrap up the broadcast, I guess there's a game on Wednesday, SPG versus Team Slug Show. What's your prediction for that game?
To be honest, I like Team Slug Show. I think they have a potential. They have Avi, and Avi in every match he's played has been going fucking insane. So I like them, but I also I gotta go for SPG, you know. The reasoning behind it, I've literally all of my Phoenix deck I've been stealing from Coolio. Genuinely stealing it from Coolio.
Okay, well that's also like nepotism in itself. No, I mean if it's not from Twan, it's gonna be from Coolio. No.
Yeah, I mean we're doing well in the other group. I gotta find something. I'm like, can't just
so then, okay, my final remark then, because obviously it's gonna be a while away. How do you feel like that matchup is gonna go against you? Hypothetically going against SPG, going against Coolio. You scared or no?
I mean, it's hard not to be scared because they look insane. I mean, obviously we had our own way of getting to. I mean, obviously we're not guaranteed the top of the group by any means necessary, but right now we're at the top of the group. So I'm just gonna say the 2 teams at the top of the group right now, they look way more dominant than we do. Just plain fact. But I mean, if we were to go against each other, I think it would be a very fun game. I think it will go to 3 maps. Or at least I'm hoping so. And yeah, I mean, Clap's Art versus Coolio, and who's the other guy? Who's the other guy on their team? Oh my god, I'm blinking.
Straight. Or yeah, wait, no, that, I'm thinking TS. Sorry, SPG. Yeah, I have no idea.
Or Thighs on not.
Oh yeah, Thighs. Yes. Oh yeah, Thighs. Yeah.
Thighs is going crazy too.
Thighs has been leveling up over the course of season 3 that much. I know Mans is now immortal. I'm like, okay, maybe a little bit scared.
We actually did the fact checked. SRG Alexis could legally sub if she were a PlatChat member for Thighs.
Yo, W. Okay, I like that. Let's get a GC IGL for them. Hell yeah. I love that. I mean, but
then you got Twan on your coach, right?
Yeah, true. Another, GC coach. W.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully we get the game out of the way in scrims, because I've been wanting to scrim them for a long time. So SBG, if you're hearing this, DM me, please. I want to scrim you.
Wait, why would you DM SPG to just DM Leo and just be like, yo, let's do it now?
Yeah.
Surely no denial.
Phoenix v Phoenix. Far from
either way. Yeah. We've got that invitation sent out. We've still got a game on Wednesday. A really hype match coming out on Wednesday. But until now, thank you, Micaiah, for the extensive interview. And once again, congratulations on the win and finishing up your group stage.
Yeah, thank you. Y'all have a good night. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes.
Fuzzy, Ian. It was a series of all time. Honestly, quite a banger. Yeah, it was steamrolly, but again, that's just Valorant in 2026. Can't really do much besides that, but hey, you know what? It was still entertaining for both sides, honestly, and still a really good show. So, yeah, any final remarks?
Pee-pee poo-poo. Hope that helps.
That is incredibly helpful. I think that is their sign. Our brains are melting.
Watch the game on Wednesday, 7 p.m. SPG versus TS.
Yes, that is going to be a heater. You don't want to miss that one. But until now, we will catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks to Ian McClellan for producing. Thanks to Knight for observing, and Fuzzy as a co-commentator.
Bye.
Bye, guys. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.